Wish I could get the name of. Not getting a name here. I'm going to just say, kind of keep it in the back of your head. I feel like something will show up for you and then it'll make sense. But the gist of it is, when it does show up, give some thought to the other people in the circle. Because again, the name, I keep hearing the name Julia or something. Okay.
I'm trying to think, there was a cheerleader that passed away, like right after high school, and I'm thinking her name was Julia. I'll have to look it up.
Okay. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, it could be some sort of connection there. And I just got a chill, which usually means confirmation. So, but I can tell you from friends who are mediums that oftentimes when somebody comes in, there's somebody else who comes in with their energy at the same time. It's almost like, wait, if you're going, I'm going too.
Yeah, you storming the door.
Kind of like that, yes. And because I'm not specifically a medium, I don't. I will say that I don't know how to put up boundaries. I will just simply say that I'm not accustomed to interacting with more than one soul at a time.
Well, I never talked to clairvoyant or anybody else, so that's the only thing I know. I can remember what it was called, medium. So I apologize,
Oh, no, don't worry about it, because again, I'm clairvoyant, sentient, buoyant, whatever. It's just mediumship. And I think because when I was a kid, I heard a lot of voices. It was too much for me. And I kept saying, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want this. And it ended up that I didn't have it.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yes, that's my field of work. Yes, I understand it. So,
at least you know that your mother-in-law is definitely around periodically and sends love. And hopefully you'll be able to discover the connection here with the Julia person. And again, this other younger man passing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share with you is be really mindful of your skin. Make sure you put on sunscreen. Make sure you're using moisturizer. I know it sounds kind of funny because if you live in California, you know these things. And yet I feel like there's a little bit of sensitivity there. Be mindful. And I will say as well, do regular checkups. If anything looks a little funny, go get it.
Yeah, I know exactly right. I have a mole that, and I was just talking to somebody about how we used to lay out in the sun, and now it's on my chin, and it's getting bigger, and I need to go to the doctor. I was just talking to my neighbor about that today.
Okay, because I've got to run here, but I want to say I'm specifically getting like the nose area, so just keep an eye out. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being there.
My pleasure. All right, as I mentioned earlier today, I have this lovely new sponsor. You've got the Ultimate Networker, George Duback. Do take a look on Facebook, check him out, make friends with him. He is an abundance of information, not just connecting and networking. This man comes across all sorts of wonderful things because he knows so many people. It's a great connection for you. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. If you'd like a private reading, feel free to reach out on Facebook or give me a holler, 561-755-2166, or the website is available, allieeddies.com.
to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for the Mini Medium with Stephanie Cowan. Live from tarotwithsteph.net. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is the Mini Media on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
All right. Hello, friends. Welcome back. I guess I should say I am happy to be back. Welcome to my show. This is your mini medium on the A1R Psychic Radio and the always beautiful Moonstruck TV. I am, if you're seeing or watching the on YouTube or on Facebook, if you can see, I just am so much feeling better and recharged and renewed and refreshed after my vacation, and got some time to get away and swim with a beautiful dolphin in Cabo in Mexico. So I'm definitely just feel so blessed to have had that opportunity, and it has been something that has been on my bucket list for a very long time. So let's see, I'll be 49 in a couple weeks, and I'm pretty sure it's been on my bucket list since I was probably 7, at least. So like 40-something years, and finally got the opportunity and took my daughter, my youngest, who is 12, and we went on a beautiful cruise and went to Cabo and then also into Ensenada, and just a wonderful time. And I'll tell you, if you get the opportunity to, just get away. I don't care, if it's as big as going and swimming with dolphins, or if it's, just getting outside and, in your yard or take a walk. I'll tell you, that sun is so recharging and refreshing and so needed. So I am just so happy to be back, though. Isn't that crazy? We go on these, vacations, we get so excited and look forward to, and they're so needed. And then we come, or towards the end, we're happy to be back home. But like they say, there's no place like home, right? No place like home. But more than anything, too, I was excited to be back. I haven't really haven't done my show in a sense of being with you guys for a few weeks, and then also when I do my Wednesday night free readings, so after my podcast on my Mini Medium Facebook page, I haven't been able to do that for a couple, 3 weeks now. So I'll be doing that tonight as well. So if you are up tonight and you're wanting to even if you don't, if you're not chosen to get a reading done, if you even just hop on and listen to other people's readings, but if you do, if you're chosen, that's great too. But just excited to reconnect with everybody and kind of see how everybody's doing, and also how excited I am to share in this new found energy that that I have now with having this new, recharged and renewed and revived and whatever, from Mexico and swimming with these amazing spiritual mammals. I'll tell you, if you ever get the chance to get close to a beautiful dolphin, which I feel like the dolphin is my spirit animal, and actually have an interaction or a swim, I highly recommend it. The dolphin, I'll tell you a little bit about the trip really quick, and of course we'll get into readings, but the dolphin that my daughter and I got to swim with, he was the alpha male, and I think he was 14 years old. His name was Allie, and he was so sweet and so gentle. And they're just such very smart animals anyways. But we got to do the dolphin dive and got to hold on to the fins and dove into the water and got to do a belly swim. And I'll tell you, just what else? We got kisses from the dolphin and hugs and dances. And anyway, it was a great time. And I'll tell you, those beautiful spiritual animals, just the energy I felt, during that experience was absolutely incredible. So if you ever get the opportunity, even just to, just go and go and enjoy and watch the beautiful dolphins and how they interact and just their beautiful spiritual senses and even dolphins are very spiritual animals anyways. Anyway, I could go on and talk all night about how amazing the experience was. But I'm happy to be back to do some readings and share my gifts of mediumship and see what's been going on in everybody's life. So as usual, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the affirmation for the week. And as many of you know that listen and have followed me, I always am drawn to numbers, and generally the numbers that I get during the day or number is really going to be connected either to a loved one in spirit who is wanting to channel and give messages to someone either on my podcast or on my live that will be later tonight on the mini medium on my Facebook page. Or sometimes it's just your spirit guides and my spirit guides working together. So the number that I'm going to pull here, we're going to pull an affirmation, but the number that I've been really picking up today has been the number 15. So 15. So this is how I connect to numbers. 15 will be the 15th of a month. This will be 2015, the age of 15, January 5th, 15 years ago. This is how that your spirit guides or your loved ones in spirit will come through and want to, either validate who they are or they have a very significant message connected to that number. So we'll kind of see how that connects with any of the callers tonight and or with any of my followers or anyone that hops on my free reading event tonight on Facebook, on the Mini Medium Facebook page. So we'll see how that comes around. It's always, I've done this 27 years and it never, ever, spirit never ceases to amaze me. Sometimes I scare myself. Sometimes I freak my own self out with some of the stuff I get, but I love it. I feel so very blessed to share this with everybody. So let's I'm going to pull the number 15 card here. And then we'll be taking our callers. Let's see, 6, 7, 9, 10. I think it was a low number too. And I've had so much excitement and such good energy today. I've been so excited to get back to the groove of things. And feel like, what do they say? A fish out of water. A dolphin out of water. How's that? Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. This beautiful affirmation just gave me chills, and my husband's going to know exactly why. This is incredible. I'll have to tell him. So I pulled these beautiful water blessings, they're water affirmation cards, and the number 15 card, I'll show on the camera here, has this beautiful dragonfly. Now I connect to my mom, who has passed, to dragonflies to my mom, butterflies to my dad, and my husband has been seeing dragonflies outside his work window the last couple days. And I promise you this was not planned. I just counted the 15th card as I shuffled. So there's some beautiful messages to everybody out there for this week. And so we go into what's called the kind of the Holy Trinity, or the kind of trifecta, this beautiful flow of energy. And at each point are really just the different factors that are, to be mindful of in your life. One is the dragonfly, the other is your dreams. And then your affirmation says, trust the whirlwind of divine change. Trust the whirlwind of divine change is a truly wonderful blessing. So I'll tell you, when my husband asked me and he said, why am I seeing these dragonflies? I said, change is coming. And, he says, well, I hope it's good change. I said, always, honey, always good change. So trust in the whirlwind of divine change. And when you have that trust, it truly is a wonderful blessing. So it really goes back to trusting in your intuition, trusting in the signs and the symbols that you see that connect you to loved ones in spirit, or just even your intuition of, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Should I stay home for another 5 more minutes because I feel like something may happen? These beautiful gifts have been gifted to all of us. So please trust in them. They're amazing, and they're meant to be used and recognized and shared, for that matter. So speaking of sharing, I'm going to go ahead and let's take my first caller. And I have Heather. Heather's from, I believe, Louisiana. Hi, Heather. This is the mini medium. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine.
Good, hon. How can I help you tonight?
I just wanted a general
reading? Okay, sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Okay, you got it, hon. I'm going to shuffle my cards here a little bit. We'll pull a few cards for you. Now, I'm sure you were listening to me babbling a little bit ago about my intuitive numbers that come up. Do you connect with that number 15 in any way?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Please keep it in mind. As I connect to those numbers, I just want to make sure that we're not possibly missing any signs of or messages from any loved ones in spirit, but the 15 will be connected to a date or the age of 15 or the year 2015. So if that connects with you, let me know. I always like to make sure we validate where that's coming in, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I just pulled a couple cards for you and just kind of intuitively pulled whichever cards I always say that fall out or even number based. So a couple things that have really are standing out. You pulled 2 cards that are connected to swords. So you pulled this Knight of Swords card, and I'll show it on camera if you want to go and watch on Moonstruck TV on YouTube. And then you pulled this 6 of Swords card. Now, both cards being swords really are, if anything for you, my friend, it's a strong message that it really, if not just recently, but coming very soon, you're going to need to really use in what I call these imaginary swords. And you're going to need to fight and defend and protect, whether that be yourself or your family, friends, whatever it may be. This last 5 months, almost 6 months as we're going into June, just the one thing that I really feel has been standing out with you ever since I got to hear your beautiful voice, you've already had quite a first half of the year. It feels to me there's been some battles that I feel you've already had to kind of pull these swords out per se. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now here's one thing about me and my readings. I will definitely tell you, very transparent, very honest, good, bad, and different. I'll tell you what you need to hear. I want you to be mindful, and I guess in a general sense, some things I see coming. Please be careful with who you are putting a lot of your trust into. Especially with a male. You have a male influence, I feel that is, very important to you. but sometimes we have to really protect ourselves, and whoever this male influence is doesn't do any kind of emotional or physical harm to you and or to your other family. I just want you to be mindful that if you've been feeling a sense of worry with a particular male in your life, I'm going to just maybe validate those feelings. So just be mindful of this person, okay?
Okay.
Now, next month, as I see going into June, who has a birthday or anniversary?
My mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, okay. And is she still here in the present? Is she still living, or has she crossed over?
She passed over.
She crossed over. Okay. All right, my friend. So there's a very, with this being mother-in-law, now her son, are you still married to him?
We're not married.
Okay. But still
we're together.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, the two of you definitely have a very strong history together, to where I would say you're pretty much married. And she's making me feel that way as well. So I've got a sense of your mother-in-law already stepping in and just validating her birthday next month. But also, one thing I just heard from her too, by the way, is she's a little bit frustrated with him at the moment. So, and that may be the male that I said, just be mindful of. Not that I feel like there's any worry of any harm, but she's almost like, you tell that boy of mine to get his what together. She's kind of slapping her hand as I see her. It's really interesting. So if there's been some rocky roads going, and he's kind of been a little bit how do I put this? Well, just hasn't really been focused in his life lately. Just let him know that your mother-in-law came through and is just validating that. She's got a very spicy personality, by the way. So he needs to get his what together, is what I just heard. So, but I'll tell you, as I feel her coming through, please keep that number 15 that I mentioned earlier. Also, this very much, my friend, is connecting with your mother-in-law. So when I was feeling that and seeing that number, she's really validating that number connecting with her. So just keep that in mind, okay? Whether it's the 15th of a month or, well, how long have you and her son been together?
16 years.
16 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you just hit the 16-year mark?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In March.
Beautiful. So that 15, your mother-in-law's she's like, all right, come on, Heather, this is me. And so this is her way of validating you guys being together 15 years, and then just recently having the 16 years together. So again, I know sometimes it takes a minute to figure it out, but know that her coming through right now is beautiful, is her validating her protection and her presence in your life. And of course, her sons. Now I'll tell you, the rocky roads and the kind of the difficult times that I feel you may have been really experiencing the last few months, things are really going to start to slow down and calm down. So here in the next, I would say the next 2 to 3 weeks, just watch, you'll see some shifts in your path where even money has been a little bit of a stress lately. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So be mindful here. By about July, I do feel like you guys will see a little bit of a relief financially. which will be good. And even a sense of whether it's you or we'll just call him your husband, either of you getting some kind of promotion or raise. I see finances going up, which is a good sign of more money or stability. Let me ask you, do you connect with, or I should say maybe, how do you connect with semi-trucks or long-haul trucking?
Say it again.
Do you connect with like semi-trucks or long-haul truck driving?
A semi-truck or what else? I can't understand it.
That's okay, hon. Long haul, so truck drivers that go, they're gone for a week or so, delivering and come back, so they're gone quite a long time. Do you connect with anyone who does that for a living?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. Yeah, just be mindful of that. There's something I feel in regards to that, to where, this very well is connecting to your husband or your significant other. Can I ask what he does for work?
He works in a warehouse. It's a glove factory.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Okay, so I'm assuming he probably has these, being in a warehouse, the big old semis that come in, and do they deliver out?
Mm-hmm.
With where he is? Okay. So I would not be surprised, my friend, if you see that he has some kind of change in his job, where there's an offer even for more money or a new position. And it may very well connect with even with him needing to do something to do with the trucking. So I never doubt these visions, even if they sound to be kind of crazy at the moment. But I feel it's not even if, but when this opportunity comes his way, I would say just intuitive advice. I would tell him to consider it, because I do feel that it very well could open up some new opportunities that financially will be very, very positive for both of you. So be mindful of that for sure. Now, are you working, my friend?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Which I didn't see any changes with your employment or finances, so that's beautiful. We're just seeing it as it is right now. So now I've got about 4 minutes, so we're just going to spend the whole show on you, my friend, because you got a lot of stuff coming in. If you're okay with that, I'll just keep you on for the rest of the show. Do you have children? Because I see children. If you do, don't tell me how many, but do you have children?
I have 4 children, and I have custody of my grandson. 5 right now.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, no wonder why you're a busy stay-at-home mama and grandma.
Yes.
Which makes a whole lot of sense. Good for you. It's a very, very rewarding, but definitely not a monetary rewarding job at times. I used to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'll tell you, I guess I still kind of am, but my kids are grown. Now I have grandbabies, and I get to share my love of being a grandma, and then I get to send them on their way, which is always such a great thing with our grandbabies. But now with your grandson that you have custody of, that's why I'm just kind of mentioning your children, because your beautiful mother-in-law is actually wanting to mention him as well. Do you connect with, I know this is going to be really kind of weird, but when I hear names through what's called clairaudient, they come in a little cryptic, and I'm hearing like a 3-syllable D like David, Denise, Do you connect with the D name, either past or still living?
You said a B?
D like David, or D like doll, David, Donna.
Wait, I really didn't. I couldn't make out what you said. You said a B or a C?
D, hun. D like dog.
A P? No, ma'am.
No, D, hun. D like dog. Like the animal, the dog. D like dog. Do you connect with that name? With the name?
Her son has a name with a D.
Okay. And is he living or has he passed, my friend?
He's living.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. I think she's just wanting to validate, validating, if anything, this is her, but also wanting to connect with and validate her son. Now, your grandson that you have custody of, we've got about 1 more minute. I just want you to know one thing I saw with him, and that's where I feel is very important. As that beautiful soul grows and you're raising this beautiful little one, just watch. He's got a very unique way of processing and a very unique way of learning. So as he grows and you're raising him, just be mindful. He may not think like others. He may think outside the box. So just watch for that as he grows, okay?
Okay.
All right, my friend. I know that was kind of just really random, but I've got about 30 seconds, and but I appreciate you calling, and thank you for allowing me to share my gifts with you tonight. And if you happen to be up tonight, my friend, hop on my Facebook page, Mini Medium, and I'll be giving out more free readings tonight, okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, my friend. All right, you have a beautiful night, and it was so nice talking to you, Heather.
Thank you. Nice talking to you, too.
All right. Bye-bye, hun.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Psychic Paths with Suzanne Marie. Live from PsychicPaths.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Psychic Path on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. I am Suzanne Marie, and I will be your host for a little bit. I am a clairvoyant and a light trance medium. So, yes, I appreciate all the listeners and all the callers. Thank you so much. And I know I appreciate all your support. So thank you, thank you. I'd like to talk to you now a little tiny bit, about protecting your energy. And I have been reading for a very long time, and a lot of people that come to me are empathic, which means you pick up other people's emotions or intentions or just health even. You can get their headaches, you can get their stomach aches, and I want to clarify that everyone needs to be protected, their energetic field. So if you can find a way to do that, it would probably help, because depression negates depression and hopelessness does the same thing. And we do not need to be anything negative around us. So I hope that you Google this or you search in the Facebook and you find a way to protect your energy, because it doesn't help to carry anyone else's energy. It doesn't make them better. It just means that you're the one walking around with the headache or the depression or the anxiety. So yeah, let's protect our energy and love ourselves that way. So yeah, welcome to June. I am getting my office together. I've just moved a little while ago, and things are settling in. And soon enough, I will find a way to do in-person readings here for anyone who's in the local area. So yeah, I'm just excited tonight for a call. So I hope everyone is taking advantage of the free calls and the free psychic readings with A1R Psychic Radio. And once again, I am Psychic Pass, and you can find me on Facebook, and you can check out my website.com. So yeah, I just really feel like a lot of people deserve to know that they're picking up on other people's energy, and it's affecting their lives. Oh, we have Penny from Pennsylvania.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. What can I help with tonight?
You can do anything.
Okay. Let me see what Spirit says, okay?
Yeah, because yesterday I went through, I've been going through a long, hard time, but I won yesterday. So now anything you can tell me can't be. We got through the worst part of this year.
Oh, wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. I'm getting from Spirit that you're a really strong character, that you have a great deal of will, and you can almost make it through anything. You kind of remind me of unsinkable Molly Brown, is a feeling I'm getting. And so with the worst that you've been through, can I ask what you've learned?
Oh, not to trust anybody, not to not to talk or have anything, try to say to ourselves more. And just like I said, don't trust nobody.
That's very, very sad, because in order to enjoy life, you need to have your heart open. Maybe the best thing to do would, when you meet new people, just ask your guides what is their intent and motivation. Because if their motivation and their intentions are no good, your own guidance will let you know. You won't get swayed.
I did in one place for 5 years, and they caused all kinds of trouble and almost put me in jail.
Oh, wow.
And everything was taken up by record, off everything. I had to do a little community service and nothing big.
Okay. Well, let me see what I can get. I'm going to do a healing for you after this show, because I think you need a healing, and you do need some spiritual energy to open up your heart and to clear some things out. So I will do that after the show.
Yep. Well, they took one of my grandkids from me. The state has one of the grandkids because of that woman.
Wow.
Yep.
I feel really bad, because I've been in your situation, and I know how hard it is to trust people after you've been incredibly hurt. But we still need to keep our hearts open. So I'm going to do the healing for that, okay? And
now everybody's trying to, now everybody's working in our favor now. All of a sudden, since everything's done, they're going to come down to where we move to. They're jumping through hoops because they know I'm going to come. I can get them. I'm going to go after the people that did try to slander my name and stuff. I'm going to go after them.
Good. There's nothing wrong with justice. And I feel like you're right that all of the bad crud is over with. And I feel like I feel a couple things. I feel like there's a move. There's something going to be changing. And it feels like a move. I don't know if it's you or someone really close to you, but there is a move.
If I get my settlement and stuff like that, then I'm going to try to buy my own house.
I feel like you're going to move, and it's going to be a better place for you. Let's see.
Think we're going to get that little girl back?
Oh, absolutely. I got that right away. I feel like what you're going through, they don't have a leg to stand on what they're doing.
Nothing anymore. Yep, after they did that. Yep.
And I feel like you will get your child back, your grandchild. I feel like this was a terrible thing to go through, but I feel like it was also to teach you too. And I hope that you can think of what you've learned besides the negative. Think of something positive, even after your settlement. If you can think of something positive that you've learned. I believe that the universe is working for us and not against us. Now, that don't mean people are always working for our best interest. And that's why I say, use your guidance when you meet new people, and ask your guides, what intention and motivation do these people have? And your guides will tell you in some kind of way. I think your guides talk through your stomach. I feel like you get a little cramp or a queasy when you meet wrong intentioned people.
If I go after those people that tried to cause trouble for me, will I win the lawsuit though if I go after the people?
Absolutely. Yes.
Come on.
Yes, I feel that. And I feel like it'll take about 1.5 years, but it's worth going through.
Oh yeah. Even if I don't get anything, it would be my satisfaction.
Yes, but I do
Showing
believe that
them
you
how
will be
much they
getting.
hurt us. Yeah, how much they hurt us. Put them back. Okay.
So, are you with me still?
Yep.
Okay. So I sense a really good summer. I feel like everything is going to go really well with you and your family and your living situation. Is your leg bothering you? I feel like there's a leg issue.
Yep. I had a car accident, and that ankle is killing me. And the lawyer only did one lawsuit thing, and I had two car accidents in a month's time, but only did one.
Oh.
He said they only did one settlement thing, so they're trying to settle one now. And it's been like 2 or 3 years, but we ain't gonna get much. That's what makes me mad. He didn't go after much for him.
Okay. Well, I feel like things are gonna change like around the fall. I feel that's when you get your abundance. I'm feeling September, October, and it's probably the first lawsuit, not the one that's going to be involved with the other woman.
How long will that? How long will that second one take with them people?
That will be timely. I get about 2 years.
Okay. I don't care. The songs
I'm so sorry that you went through that, and I thank you so much for calling, and thank you so much for allowing me to share with you.
You're welcome.
You take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone, for listening and calling in. Stay tuned. We have more shows, and I will see you next week. I'm signing off. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Psychic Radio, Earth Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Lavender Moon Healing with Bree Patak. Live from linktr.ee/Lavender Moon Healing. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Lavender Moon Heal on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, welcome. My name is Bree. I am Lavender Moon Healing, and I am honored to be here this evening. I am super excited, and I am grateful for all of those who are joining me and sharing their energy with me, and I couldn't be more excited. So a little bit about me. I am a psychic medium, Reiki master practitioner. I was gifted my gifts about 1.5 years ago after the universe decided it was time, and I have been blessed ever since. It has been a wild ride, and it has led me to this amazing adventure, and I couldn't be more excited. So I did have a day today. The word flow kept coming up in my day today, and I felt like it's something that I needed to touch on, because we kind of forget in life that we need to just ride the wave, and we need to just kind of go for it and surrender. And I was listening to meditation this morning, and she was talking about how life is a river, and I always use that comparison because it can be bumpy and it can be smooth sailing sometimes. And sometimes we grasp a hold of the banks of the river, the sides of the river, and we hold on so tight because we're so scared of what's going to happen if we let go. And when we let go, we just float down the river, and we're safe because the water takes us to calmer areas. And I think sometimes in life, that's what we have to do. We have to just close our eyes, take a deep breath, and let go and surrender to the river. And it's been something that has come up in my life a lot. And I know that there are several people around me who have experienced that and are struggling to let go. It is very hard to let the universe know that you are ready. Oh, awesome. We have our first caller, and I'm super excited. We have Rosalind from Richmond, Virginia, and I am super excited. Welcome.
Hello,
Rosalind.
how are you?
Rosalind, hello. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, how can I help you this evening? What's going on?
Life.
Yeah.
I guess anything that you're drawn to.
Okay. Well, do we have a special question? Are we looking for something, or do we just need some advice right now?
Advice would be great.
Okay. Do me a favor, take a deep breath and just kind of give me permission to step into your energy. Let's see what's going on here.
I'll give you permission.
Now, are you having a tough time making a decision? Are you kind of stuck at this crossroad right now? Are we...
Well, I actually made a decision about, I guess, maybe my love life.
Okay. Oh, that's, you were conflicted about that.
I was.
And this is this is going to come into the message that I was just delivering. I think it's we have that idea that we need to control things, and we have that idea that we need to be in control of everything. And when it comes to the matter of our heart and love, sometimes what we think isn't right is exactly what we need at the time. And I think that your heart said one thing and your mind said another, and I think you went with your heart.
That's true.
And that's what you need to do, because your head was like, no, what if? But your heart said, let me love. And that's a beautiful thing. So you should feel comfortable in your decision, following your heart, where your heart is leading you to go. I think that this partner that you've chosen or not chosen, whatever your decision was that you followed, is going to lead you to joy. It's going to give you a sense of comfort, a sense of youthfulness. But your head is still messing with you. Your head is is giving you this fear of being hurt. And I feel like you were scared to make this decision because you've been hurt so much in the past. Has this person hurt you before? Was this why?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say there's like rational feelings coming in, like no, this is going to happen again. But if you in your heart know that this is where you're supposed to be, then that's where you stick with. That's where you follow your heart. Your heart is going to lead you to what is giving you joy. And now the other thing to do is follow your intuition. If you know in your heart that this is the right thing, our intuition is a strong tool. It's a guide that I think we forget to use. Yeah, so I'm getting right now with the couple of cards that I pulled that this partner has led to some trouble, but you found forgiveness. You found the forgiveness in your heart. That's why your heart has led you to love them, because you've forgiven them. You've seen change. You've seen a difference. Feel confident in that.
Well, I actually told him that I didn't want to move forward with the relationship.
Well, and that's whatever the decision was. Feel confident that that's what's going to bring you joy. Like that's what's going to bring you've forgiven enough. Like you found the peace in your heart with whatever your decision was. That's you should feel proud of that. Whether it's to stay or to go, it doesn't matter what the decision is. But you followed your heart, and you led with that, and you found a way to kind of keep yourself down a different path. You took the risk. You let go of the side of the river, and you just jumped in, and you were like, this is what's supposed to happen. Feel confident with that. Like, don't second guess yourself. And I think that's where this need for advice is coming in, because you're broken. Like, it still makes you sad and it still hurts.
Yeah, that's true.
And and that's what's tearing you up, because part of you is like, that's where your brain comes in. Part of you is like, no, we're hurting. But your heart is like, I'm healing, and I need to continue to heal. And I found something that's going to make me feel better. So don't allow those thoughts that don't allow those negative thoughts that you know aren't right for you to take control. Right. When they start to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm listening to you.
Okay. When they start to creep in, and those thoughts start to creep in, just take a deep breath and feel in your heart what your mind is saying is wrong, and go with that feeling. Like the healing is the pain is gonna heal, and it's gonna go away, and you're gonna be stronger for it. So everything, I'm a firm believer that everything in life happens for a reason, and everything is a lesson to prepare us for the next phase of our life. And one of my biggest sayings, one of my biggest beliefs, one of my biggest pieces of advice that I can offer to anybody is, the pain is temporary, but it was a lesson. So instead of looking at, why am I hurting? Why did this happen? Take a step back and look at it from a different perspective and say, what lesson did I learn in this? What can I do to prevent me from hurting like this again? You found the strength to make a major decision in your life, and feel proud of that. That makes you a strong, beautiful woman. And to be able to put your foot down and make a stance, learn from that, gain from that strength, multiply that, magnify that, and continue to live your life with that strength when making other decisions. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I hope that helped you a little bit.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Okay, well, my time is running up. Rosalind, thank you so much for being my very first caller, and thank you for joining me tonight. I do hope that you find peace in your decision and find some strength in your decision as well. And I wish you the very... Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me in your energy. And I really hope that you have a wonderful evening. And thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for New York City Celebrity Psychic with Perry Lyons. Perry Lyons. Live from PerryLyons.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3146. 24/7. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is New York City Celebrity Psychic on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, my cherished ducklings. I'm Perry Lyons, and this is New York City Celebrity Psychic, which I guess is me, and you're you. So that all works out beautifully. Hi, I am sitting here waiting for you to call with your deepest, most profound questions, which I will answer with honesty, integrity, and a little mystic magic. And before we start taking calls, I'm going to talk a little for a second, and then I'm going to do the psychic tarot weather, which is just like regular weather except less damaging to crops. So it's a week when it's a week for attention. I think this week everybody's going to be getting a little more attention than usual, and I say that because I got a lot of attention yesterday. Two things happened. One was one thing happened the day before, which is I live in Maryland part of the time. I'm in New York City most of the time, but I also am restoring a house in Maryland. So I got to meet the current governor's mother, which was lovely, Westmore's mom. And she said, "I know you. You're the girl who had the piano fall in your head." I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "That's wonderful." I'm like, it wasn't at the time, but thank you. The reason she said that is because if you're a regular listener, you know that one of the reasons I became a little more psychic than usual is because, in fact, I had a piano fall in my head. I love that she remembered that. And I was feeling like I'm special. So I was in Brooklyn yesterday, and I was walking down the street, and this woman came running up to me on the street. She said, Miss. And I'm like poised to give her an autograph. Yes. How can my fabulousness radiate onto your humdrum life? I didn't actually say that, but I was like, oh, an admirer. And it turns out that she wasn't, in fact, an admirer. She was somebody who was coming to tell me that I had accidentally tucked the back of my dress into the back of my underpants and was strolling down Atlantic Avenue with full moon shining. Woo! So it's going to be a week for a lot of attention. Hopefully slightly better than that. So I'm Perry Lyons. You're listening to New York City Celebrity Psychic. And I'm very happy you're here. And I'm very on tonight, so I'm really looking forward to your calls. Meanwhile, I'm going to pick 3 cards. The first card is for the first part of this week coming up. Second part is for you're catching on, the second part of this week. And the third card is for the end of the week. And so that's 7 days. So 2.5. I don't know how that works mathematically, but just figure it out amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm going to grab the cards. I never pre-pick them, which is why you always get to see the top of my head. Emma in Melbourne. Oh, I love Melbourne. It's the New York of Australia. I'll be with you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. In fact, I have a lamb here, so I will wait till he shakes his tail. Let me just finish the psychic weather, and then I can't wait to read for you. Meanwhile, Emma, while you're waiting, breathe in deeply through your nose, or while you're breathing out through your mouth, go like this, like you're blowing out a birthday candle. That stimulates the vagus nerve. Not the vagus nerve, which is a little different. The vagus nerve is where you wake up in a hotel room with 3 sex workers you don't remember calling for, and possibly a tiger. But enough about my personal life. Okay, ready? The first card is, the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is a fascinating card. It means that somebody around you who might be a woman who might be an air sign, which is to say Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Well, I got that right. Going to be in your vicinity. It also might mean that somebody is a lady, or somebody who identifies as a lady. We're very LGBTQ, Happy Pride Month here, friendly. So this is somebody who might seem like they're a little critical of you. They have your best interests at heart. They might not know quite how to phrase what they think of as helpful and constructive criticism. So you might feel like, oh, ow, that hurt. It's already happened to me today. So I hope it goes better for you than it did for me. Somebody was very, very direct with me. So if somebody in your vicinity is giving you constructive criticism, don't break their nose. Take a deep breath and just thank them for the input and maybe listen to what they have to say, and then later poison their coffee. Okay, too much true crime. I've been listening to too much true crime. Page it once. This is a couple of things. Whenever I get this, it symbolizes a young person who is a Leo, an Aries or a Sagittarius. So you might have one of them running around, which is always good. But it also means, for me, communications. So this means that you might be in the middle of the week getting some interesting texts, some interesting phone calls, and there's going to be something coming through in a kind of textual or phone call or even email. I never look at my email. I'm too scared. Too many cheerleaders offering to help me with my erectile dysfunction. But I can't believe I just said that outside of my head. But so this is some sort of helpful communication or an important like text message that comes in midweek. Also, if there's a child in your vicinity pulling focus, which is to say who needs attention, they might need a little calming down. They might need a little structure. They might need a little soft-spoken breathing. So if there's a kid in your vicinity who's bouncing off the walls, just talk to them softly and they will match your tone. I found that out. It's true. And, the last card, that's really interesting. The end of the week. This card is a little daunting. It's somebody carrying a whole lot of sticks and they're bent over and they might feel overwhelmed. They might feel like somebody's delegated way too much to them, or they might be somebody who isn't delegating properly. Whatever the case is, in this case, what this means is that you're going to be feeling a little overwhelmed at the end of the week, but don't worry. For one thing, this is a 10 card, which means it's the end of a cycle. And your overwhelm is easily dealt with by either delegating or telling somebody, I'm a little overwhelmed, can you help me out with this? Or by following my old recipe for overwhelm, which is how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I do not advocate eating elephants. It's a metaphor. But if you start to get overwhelmed, just take a deep breath, know that it's very short-lived and you're going to deal with it perfectly. Okay, there we go. Emma, are you still there?
Yes, hello.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm awesome. All the better for you being here. So I like to connect to people through, and I want to come visit you in Melbourne. I love Australia. I lived there for a while. It's fabulous. Everything in Australia is 13% bigger, brighter, and more interesting than in America. So that's what I think. Anyway, so I like to connect to people through their birthdays. When's your birthday, my love? You don't have to tell me the year, just the day.
14th of the 4th, 1987.
Okay, say that one more time.
14th of April, 1987.
Oh, good. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having a little volume thing with my phone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I can hear you too. All right. So it feels to me like, your life is going pretty well, as opposed to the way it was going last year when it kind of sucked. So I'm very glad that you pulled out of that. Wow, you had some hard times last year. I'm sorry about that. So how can I help you? Do you have a question?
I have a question about love. Because I've been single for close to 7 years, when love will come in for me.
Oh, sweetie. I'm sorry. I like the way you say, is love coming for me? Because that it sounds a little terrifying, which is absolutely on the money when it comes to love. First of all, what I'd like you to recognize and own and give yourself credit for is that you needed some time off. You needed to be single for a while, because honestly, I can see with my heart's eye and you could just go like this and have anybody you want. So you really could. You may not think so, but you can. Interestingly, I think you're going to start. I don't think you've been actively looking for it, which is fine. I'm single these days too. And whenever I get on an app, it makes me want to put my head in the oven. So I don't think apps are for you. I think, interestingly, I think just tell your friends that you'd like to meet somebody. You've got great friends. You have awesome friends, and they love you. So I'm feeling like the first hit I got is it's not too far. I actually think you'll meet somebody in July, which I realize is winter for you. So, so wear something fuzzy and cozy. But it looks to me, you have one girlfriend in particular who's almost, she's like a soul sister. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think she might introduce you to somebody. I don't see you going on the apps. I see your friends fixing you up. I also think it might not be a fix-up. It might be, I think you're going to go to a party or a barbecue or something in July. And somebody's going to be there, and it's going to be like, some enchanted evening. It's going to be like, you just sort of look at each other, and there you are. And I like that you're not worrying about it. I mean, you're asking the question, but you're not worried about it. There's no I'm not getting anxiety. I'm just getting. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because I have recently connected with someone recently, and it feels like a soul connection, but I'm just not really sure.
I think it is a small connection, but I think for some reason I'm getting June, July. So I think there is a connection there. I think it's going to, you might not see each other for a couple weeks for some reason, but I think I'm going to actually move it closer. I'm going to move it into June, but I think by July, you're going to be in a relationship. That's what I think. And I think, actually, it's going to be a really nice one. Is this person in the arts? Do they like play an instrument or something?
The person I've connected with recently. No.
Well, there's some sort of, I don't know. There's some somebody who enjoys music. I'm getting like a musical thing here. Yeah, I like this person. I think, yeah, it's either this person or, oh, you know what? What might happen is, you might be sort of back and forth, but I'm seeing you at like a barbecue or a party, talking to somebody very intently. If it's not this person, it's somebody else. Might be this person though, actually. But yeah, there is, you haven't felt this kind of connection for a while with somebody, is what I'm feeling. So, yeah, I like this person. Cool. Anything else I can help you with? You're definitely going to be in a relationship by the end of July. You're going to be like picking out monogram napkins, if that's your thing. If that's not your thing, don't do it.
Wow, that's very exciting. Something to look forward to.
Anything else I can help you with?
Can I please ask a question about my career? I feel like I'm in like a bit of a transition crossroads in terms of if I pursue my nursing career or if I stay where I'm at.
I think the transition is going to present itself in an organic way. I would stay where you're at, look around, because you're being a little underappreciated in the job you're in, and you're kind of doing two people's work for the price of one. Am I right?
Yes, I've been doing a lot of management work. I was offered a management role, but I declined it.
I don't know if management is real. You do what you do really well. Management feels like it would kind of. I want you to get paid more for doing what you do. Management feels like. Here's what I think. I think that you're going to get a job offer. I don't think it's going to be till August or September, but I think you're going to get sort of headhunted. That sounds like, like with blowpipes and poison darts and stuff, but I don't. Unless that's fun for you, in which case, go ahead. Somebody works in a company that does something not dissimilar from the company you're working in right now. And I think that they're going to reach out to you. So I would kind of think about staying where you are for the time being, but keep your ears open, because there's something that is more of what you like doing and for more money. And I do think you already know the person who's going to be offering you this, but that's what I'm getting. Does that work for you?
That's interesting, because that's what happened to me 4 years ago. And I also have a nursing degree, and I've just not really been using it. And that person I was speaking about before, that soul connection, has kind of been a bit of a catalyst in my career. And I've gone, hold on, should I be pursuing my nursing now? Is now a good time? So interesting.
I think you'd be a spectacular nurse. Are you pediatric? Do you have a specialty? And Katie in Minnesota, I'll be with you in a minute. So what's your specialty?
Yeah, I really, really want to do end-of-life nursing, so palliative care, nurse people while they pass away in their own home.
Oh, that's wonderful. I have a couple of friends who are end-of-life doulas, and it's such an amazing thing to be able to offer people. And you have an enormous heart, and you're very solid, you're very steady, you're very solid. That's a lovely thing to do. Yeah. So if that's calling you, I would think about, stay where you are for a little while, take a deep breath. And it's interesting, because the same kind of thing is going to happen. I think it might not be the same person who was a catalyst last time, but that seems to be in your aura. People reach out to you. So that's really interesting. I'm curious as to what will happen, but I love that you're thinking about doing that. I think that would be very, very soul nourishing for you. And I also think you'd be doing the world a good deed. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. Let me know what happens. I'm Perry Lyons. I'm on Facebook, and just let me know in July when the relationship thing works out, okay? Because I care, and I'm also nosy. All right, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for that.
Bye-bye, sweetie. Katie, we have Katie is it Minnesota? Katie, I love you. Still there? I'm going to hum while I'm waiting for Katie. Katie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, good. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, barely. I'm having a little audio trouble, so speak loudly and enunciate. My headphones bit the dust right before showtime. So, how are you, my love?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, good. Nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, for the most part, I could say that.
It was very,
They're
very
updating
nice
the towers in my area, so I had to move outside.
Okay, that's fine. I'll stay inside if it's all the same to you. So I like to connect people through their birthdays. When's your birthday, my angel?
March 4th.
Oh, Pisces. Rock on. Me too.
Yeah.
Pisces women are the best. Pisces men, They're
Aren't
really
they?
charming, but they're kind of weak. But Pisces women, man, we can do anything. I mean, not to brag, but also March is the best month to have a birthday. So, I like your vibe. Great vibe.
I agree.
So how can I help you, my angel?
Well, just, I don't know, whatever. Just trying to get a reading. I don't know, maybe some guidance.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to use tarot cards for you. How's that?
Sounds good.
And you can see the top of my head because I still haven't figured out how to put the tarot cards in my lap. Apparently, that's just too complicated. Interesting. It feels to me, when you get the Fool card, it doesn't mean you're an idiot at all. The Fool card, the poor guy, this is the guy that everything in the tarot happens to. This poor dope. When you get the Fool card, it means that you're on the brink of starting, you're taking a step up in your life. You're starting a new journey. And that's very much the energy I'm feeling with you. I'm feeling like you want to take a step up in your life. You want to take some risks. And, sorry. Can't not do that. And trust your dreams, but you're not sure what your dreams are. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty spot on.
I love my work. Well, here's the thing. One of the things that I'm getting the Hanged Man card. Hanged Man card means that you're going through a phase of spiritual growth. You're changed. The Hanged Man card is the opposite of when somebody like changes on the outside, like they shave their head, they wear orange robes, they dance around singing Hare Krishna, but they're still the same idiot inside. No offense to Hare Krishnas out there. I know some very nice ones, but you know what I mean. The Hanged Man card is when you work the same on the outside, but you're changing in the inside. And you're feeling like you want to know what you want to know. And what I'm here to tell you is you have a few talents, which is why it's a little complicated for you. Joni Mitchell calls it the crazy you get from too much choice. But you have an artistic dream, but you're somebody who really values security. So whatever the job you're doing now, I would start making them know how valuable you are and sort of stay in that job for a little while. But I would start taking some risks in terms of your artistic dreams. Now, your artistic dreams, hold on a second. They're giving me two things. One of them is where you're on a stage behind a microphone, and one of them is where you're essentially telling people what to do with their furniture and their colors. So it feels to me like you have a performing dream, and you also are very good at design. Are either of those things true? Just say yes, I'll send you $20.
Yeah.
I feel like both of those things are true.
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah. You have great design sense. Will you come to my house, please? I'll come to Minnesota. I'll bring my house to Minnesota. So we have 2 minutes. So here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to suggest that you take baby steps in the direction of both of those things. I would say, I'm not sure if it's stand-up or singing. I think you might be a singer. If you can find just an open mic in your neighborhood and find a song you like and find somebody to play for you, it's very easy. That's how I started a 20-year singing career. Just taking a baby step, and baby step with the design stuff. Step. What? No, it's a baby step.
That is a big step.
No, it's baby.
But maybe not.
Oh, open mic in your neighborhood. That isn't it? Okay. The other thing I do is start to take your dreams seriously. I think there's a part of you that thinks like, well, I kind of don't have a permission slip to do that. But maybe take an online course and interior design. Because the thing is, we've got 60 seconds, so I'm going to talk really fast, which is easy because I'm a New Yorker. The thing is that here's your magic key. People really like you. So that's your Marvel superhero talent. Anything you do, people are going to support you because you're incredibly likable. It's your superpower. So you can step on stage and sing a little. People are going to root for you and like you. You can take a design course and then maybe ask a friend if you can design their house or something like that. But I think within 2 years, you're going to start heading seriously in the direction of at least one of these dreams. You've got a lot of talent and you've got a lot ahead of you. So good luck, my angel.
#1 psychic radio network and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Zodiac Zone. 30 minutes of astrological insight with Melissa Markham. Live from nmastrovibes.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Zodiac Zone on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Zodiac Zone. I am really excited about tonight's show because I don't know about you, but there's some weird energy going around. So let me do this. I'm going to kind of talk about what's going on in the sky. And then towards the end of the show, I'm going to do readings with people that call in. So anyway, I don't know. I am just really kind of flaky and tired and out of it. I don't know if everybody else is feeling that way. I've talked to some friends and they're just kind of like, what the heck is going on? Well, let's talk about June 3rd. We had a pretty rare alignment with Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So let me explain, when all these planets come together like that and are in alignment, it can cause a lot of crazy things to happen. And crazy, I don't mean, it could be like, epiphanies, meaningful symbols, dreams, things like that. Mercury, I'll explain what each planet means. So Mercury is your mind. That's your thought process. Mars is about action. It's also about anger. Jupiter is about expansion. It's expanding your surroundings. Saturn is the teacher. So it keeps things responsible. It keeps things, it eliminates things that aren't for your greater good. And it keeps things, like I said, real. Uranus is the awakener. When you have an Uranus transit, it's like all of a sudden things can shift and it's like, holy crap, why did that disappear? And then years later, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that disappeared. And then Neptune. So Neptune's one of those interesting planets. It stays in a house, and when I'm talking about astrology house, it stays there for about 13 years. So it can cause confusion, but it's really about you connecting to your spiritual insight, really listening to your intuition, that higher voice inside of you that really is guiding you. But then we have something called the ego, and the ego gets in the way. So that's, think about it. It's like when you have all that combustible energy coming together, it can play havoc on your nervous system. It can make you tired. It can make you dream crazy dreams. It can also bring about change, epiphanies, sudden change of direction. So that's what happened on Tuesday. And I feel like we're still kind of getting that energy. Tomorrow we have a new moon. New moons are wonderful things. The new moon in Gemini. Gemini is about communication. It's about writing. It's about socializing. It's about, it can be about too, laughter. And, a lot of people that have a lot of Gemini in their chart, they're really good at speaking and communications. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that new moons are beginnings of things. So when you think about if you wanted to let's say, change your communication. You know, maybe it could be the thoughts about yourself, right? If it's that little voice inside of you saying, you know what, I'm not going to always put myself down all the time. I'm going to say really good things about myself, because you manifest what you are and what you feel. And the energy, you know, attracts energy. If you are always putting yourself down, you're going to attract people that are going to put you down. If you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm a wonderful person, I'm smart, reminds me of that old Saturday Night Live thing, people love me, then that's the energy that you're going to put out. So this is a really good time to have really good thoughts about yourself. If you're trying to grow a business, or let's say you're in a business and you're trying to get new clients, this is a really good time to get out there and network and do those things that will be prosperous for you. So that's what I wanted to say about the new moon in Gemini. I'm looking at something, and I definitely advise people to get this, especially people that are really, really into astrology. It's the Daily Planetary Guide, Llewellyn's 2024 at a glance. I get it every year, so I can start planning my year knowing what's coming up. I would say any of those people out there, like I said, starting a business or starting something new, definitely do it on a new moon. And I tell my clients this, whatever they have in their chart. For example, I have a lot of Aries in my chart. So I started my business during a new moon in Aries. And it's a way to use the chart as a tool to help you. And that's what I tell all my clients. I'm like, listen, it's not, you shouldn't be afraid of any of this, you know, because people are like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's always the polarity. There's going to be easy things coming in and more difficult things coming in. And I use my chart as a way to, as a snapshot into what's going to happen in the future, or what can I expect? You know, for example, in my solar return chart, I had my sun was in my 7th house. So I knew partnership was going to be a very big thing for me. It's about relating to people. And it's not a year for me to do a lot of things alone, as far as my business, as far as getting out there, as far as, you know, socializing, all of that. So again, but it's really about what you feel too, because I feel like all of us, we know what's intuitively what's going to happen with us. We just need a checkpoint. We just need to kind of confirm what we already know about ourselves. And once we understand that, you know, life becomes easier, or at least we know, hey, it's not gonna, you know, it's not, I'm trying to think of the words. Again, my mind is all kind of Gemini. It's going back and forth here tonight, but it's really about using the chart to really help you understand who you are and how to navigate life's mysteries, I would say. So that's what I want to kind of share with everybody. Enjoy a lot of Gemini. We have the sun in Gemini conjunct the moon in Gemini tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of interesting ideas, maybe some aha moments, maybe a way to look at things from a different perspective. You know, when you have a lot of Gemini in sun and moon, it could be difficult to sleep. You might wake up at about 2, 3, 4 in the morning and be like, oh my gosh, I have this problem and I'm going to solve it. So that's what I wanted to say about Gemini and about the new moon in Gemini. So I wanted to go ahead and take my first reading. Let me go ahead and get my program up. Amber?
Hi.
Is Amber there? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How was your day?
I'm good. Do you feel all this energy? Are you tired? Are you a lot of the things that I was talking about?
I just feel lost and all over the place.
I do too. I think it's all, like I said, a 6 planetary alignment, and Gemini can be like a lot of like, okay, you have one idea and then all of a sudden it's like, what was I thinking again? So,
right.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I'm going to do a reading. What is your birthday?
It's May 2nd.
May 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
And 1978?
Yep.
Okay. And what was the time you were born?
10:22 a.m.
10:22 a.m. And the place? City, state?
Seattle, I think.
Seattle, Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. Seattle, Washington. Got it. Okay. So what I do is I really talk about the lunar nodes, which are the elliptical points in the sky. They're very karmic. You come in from the south node, which is the moon energy, which could be your past lives. And you're trying to get to the polarity energy, which is the north node. And for a lot of people, it's kind of difficult to get to that north node because they're so used to operating in the south node. So first of all, I want to say, I'm sure this year is a very transformative year for you.
Oh,
because I know, and I'm in the same boat as you. My nodes are in Aries and Libra, and your nodes are in Aries and Libra as well. You're a south node in Aries in the 9th house. And your north node is actually in Libra in the 3rd house. So a south node in Aries tends to be kind of a lone wolf type of personality, and in the fact that they feel like they have to take everything on. You know, they're very independent. They don't like to ask for help. They feel like they want that, you know, they have everything on their shoulders. Like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You don't have to help me. But in this lifetime, it's really about embracing partnerships. And partnerships, not only from a romantic perspective, but also from a business perspective, really the closest relationships in your life, and have it be very balanced and harmonious. And I would say, you know, you're a very, very independent person because 9th house is also house of Sagittarius. So it's like, you know, you look at the world and you just also have probably this love of travel. You're probably the type of person that, you know, has to research things and make sure that everything's, you know, this way as far as like, but I would say that for you, the knowledge is already inside of you. And it's really about speaking the knowledge that you already know, and in a way that your closest relationships could understand that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I feel like that is your life lesson in this lifetime, and that is always going to come up, you know, situations like that. couple things also I see. I look at Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. There's a whole story about Chiron. Basically, he was immortal, so until he was released from his wounds, he lived continually in his wounds. So, okay. So, what I'm saying is that your Chiron is in Taurus in the 10th house. And I feel like sometimes you get stuck in your career. I don't know if you're afraid to kind of change, or or you feel like you're afraid to make a move, because your sun is there too. So, sorry, my dog is dreaming. She's here in the planetary alignments too. So I don't know if that has really happened as far as feeling stuck in what you're doing, but I feel like you shine there too because your sun is there. So I would say for you, use your intuition. If you feel that you must make a move in whatever it is, then do it. Don't worry about, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to make a move because I'm afraid what's behind door number 2.
Right. And everything will fall apart.
Everything will fall apart. And because Taurus, the bull can get stuck, right? And right. I mean, have any of us tried to move a bull? Nope. They do things very slowly, but they can stay stuck. So I think for you, it's really about you saying, okay, I need security, I need all these things, but maybe if I get out of my comfort zone and, with this new moon in Gemini tomorrow, if I get out of my comfort zone, I don't know what something beautiful and magical and different can happen to me. Does that all make sense?
Right. Oh yeah, perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have another interesting thing. You have Jupiter in the 12th house. I feel like that. Use that Jupiter as far as dreams. Maybe have a journal by your bed, and write down. Even in your lucid state of consciousness, just things that you're dreaming about. And I feel like you could put things together. I feel like journaling would be really, really good for you. Like really good, because your North Node is in the 3rd house. It's probably something that I don't know if you like to do that, but
I do.
Yeah, because you can look back on it and say, wow, look at the progress I made. And as we grow and understand each other, understand ourselves more, it's amazing the things that we don't subconsciously think we're growing, but we really are, when we actively make the intention to do so. And I feel this is a very transformative year for you to do the things, to come out of the kind of, and all of us have that cogwheel way of thinking and doing, where we kind of just subconsciously do the same thing and expect different results. But if you kind of come, it's really about, for you, taking some chances, I would say. Taking some chances and just moving. You have Mars in the 1st house in Leo. I feel like when you know something, you go after it. You're very conscious about it, and just kind of keep doing that, because I feel like that would be a really good thing for you. And go out tomorrow, and like I said, it's those thoughts and those things that you tell yourself that make all the difference in the world.
Right.
So, but that's what I have for you tonight. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay. Yolanda. Is Yolanda there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, how are you, Yolanda?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just trying to stay focused with all this Gemini energy. What is your birthday, day, month, year?
10/27/56.
Okay. 27th of October, 1956.
Great.
And the time?
I don't know that.
Okay. I don't really, it would take me a little time to do a rectification chart. So I always feel uncomfortable when people don't know their birth time because I don't want to give them any false, I don't want to give them a false reading because the planets can move depending on what degree it is every couple of minutes. So I don't want it to be wrong for you. So if you, the way to get your birth chart, or I'm sorry, your time is through Vital Statistics, and you can get it online, and you have to order the long form. So.
No, yeah, I ordered a birth certificate and it came, and they don't put the time on there anymore.
They do on the long form. If you order specifically the long form, some states automatically put it on the short form, some states don't. So you just have to ask for the long form. I know I was born in New York and I had to get the long form.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, but, definitely call back in when you get that.
All right, thanks a lot.
Sorry. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to kind of refresh on what we talked about tonight. Wanted to mention that again, we have the full moon tomorrow night. And so one thing that I always do when I go out, and I write my intentions down, and I say to everyone, you should do this. And also, I have my crystals around me. I have amethyst, I have blue calcite, all of my crystals around me. And what I do is I'm very specific about my intentions and what I want and what I look for when I do my ceremonies around a new moon. And I feel that when you go to crystal shops and when you set up your altar, I recommend to all my clients, I always tell them, set up altars in areas that you want to build an Akashic record around, because it's so important to even bring the spirituality of who you are. And let's say you have a corporate job. I have a corporate job, my full-time job, and then my night job is being an astrologer. So I bring my spirituality into my corporate setting. And I think it's very, very important for people to do that, because I think that what we do is we kind of cut it in half, where we're like, okay, you have to act this way at a corporate job, and then you have to act this way when you get into your, for example, me, when I'm an astrologer, but you want to incorporate this into your life as a whole. And I think that is really important. So, for example, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to really think about my thoughts. What is it that I want to manifest into my life tomorrow for this new moon? It is in Gemini, and be very cognizant on the things that I want to write down. what is it that, if I look, what is it that I want to manifest? Well, I want to manifest the fact that I want to bring astrology into the corporate environment. I want to help entrepreneurs and business people. I want them to use their chart as a tool to help them make the decisions that are best for them. So that's what I'm going to write down tomorrow. And then what I do is I sit and I say these things and I write them on a piece of paper and I say them. And then I fold the paper and I put it towards the direction to face the moon. And I find that this helps. These little things help because, again, we want to work with this energy. You know, this energy is out there for a reason and purpose. And it's really about flowing with the energy instead of against it. I find that many of us live on this perpetual cogwheel where we're doing the same thing and we're expecting different results. And we look at the world right now with all of this change and we think to ourselves, oh my gosh, this is just too much for me. And this is crazy. And I tell people that tell me that, I'm like, that's what you're manifesting. If you keep telling, you know, if you keep saying that the world's a hard place, people are crazy, you're crazy, then that's what you're going to get back. So I look at it, I try to sit in discernment and I try to say, hey, everybody's on a different evolutionary level. And where can I make a difference? Where can I help individuals? And that's why I'm so glad that I have a language and tool that I love in astrology. It never gets boring. I can look at the chart from completely different ways. I'm studying vibrational astrology. I understand Western astrology. So it's like I said, I never get bored with it. And I just wanted to, just kind of, it's been nice that I've been able to really speak tonight. Just wanted to tell you that's how I try to live in this world, is just to understand that I chose to be here for a purpose and reason. And it's really about connecting to your soul. You know, it's your soul purpose. And that's what I wanted to kind of convey tonight. So I would invite everybody to get to, embrace this new moon. It's about the communication that you tell yourself and be kind to yourself. Look at all the wonderful things that are in your life. And even if you're going through a really hard time, just be grateful. So thank you so much for joining me tonight and getting your 30-minute fix of astrology. And like I said, go out tomorrow, enjoy the new moon in Gemini.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDPsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi,
everybody. Welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host for this segment, Lady D. And I hope you all, as I always say, have had an amazing week ahead. But this week, we are coming into a week, I feel like it may be a little bit frustration. We still, as a positive, we still have Venus very close to the sun from that new moon that we had yesterday, and they're still very close together. And even when we get to the end of next week, they will still be, like from the 13th, which is when next Thursday, they'll still be within a few degrees of each other, which is good. And you'll also have Mercury by the end of next week getting close to that sun as well, because towards the end of the month, Mercury and Venus will come together, which will be a positive thing. But first of all, with this week, so other positives that we have this week coming up, I like to start with the positives, is we've got Mars. That's going to be moving into Taurus on the 10th. So that with Mars in Taurus, it can be, I feel like Mars in Taurus can, I guess, be a little bit less motivated. So we've got a few more days where Mars is pushing us through, getting us to do what we have to do. It's at its most strongest in Aries because it's ruled by Aries. And then when we're going to Taurus, I don't feel like it's going to be like being in Taurus. I feel like there'd be a sense of being a little bit slower, maybe a sense of being a little bit less motivated, or we might be more motivated to look at our security or how we make it secure, what's going to, how our surrounding is, how our environment is. We might be looking at finances or money, because Taurus does rule money as well. But I feel like when we have Mars in Taurus, if you're born with someone who's Mars in Taurus, you're someone that when you do get angry, you get very fixed on something. You've got tunnel vision. So it might be a sense of being frustrated with a certain issue, but not getting stuck on that issue and not seeing the bigger picture about things, because with Tauruses, they just see through that tunnel. And especially when your Mars is in Taurus, when you do get angry, and you tend to find people with Mars in Taurus, they'll get angry over like money issues, or if they're not comfortable, or if even the fact that they've gone out, they've ordered a nice meal and it hasn't been to their expectations, may make them a bit frustrated, but they'll get stuck on those issues. So it's not going to be, I don't feel like it's going to be energy of us being, yes, let's get going, let's move forward, let's get motivated. It may be a little bit like, let's just think this through, let's just plod along a little bit. So we are heading into that kind of energy with Mars moving into Taurus. And then we've still got sextile here with Saturn and Uranus. So unexpected problems, and in the sextile are positive, so they're working more together. So it's about us getting through those, I would say being more resilient through unexpected issues that are coming up. We're able to move forward. We've also got the sextile with Uranus and Jupiter to Neptune. So we'll still be able to see through people's manipulation or people's lies, or there's an ending that's coming up. It's good for us. It's a good ending that is coming up. We've also got some tries to Pluto still, which is also helping us going through a big transformation. We're ready to move on. We're ready to leave things behind that don't serve us. And we're ready to really look more to the future where we are heading. So those are the positives for the week ahead. Now, we do have some aspects that aren't as positive. So we've got that Venus and the Sun, because they're still very close together. And especially Venus all this week is going to be squaring Saturn. So it's bringing up issues with relationships or people around you. When I say relationships or people or love, I don't just mean the people that love around you, whether like your partner, it's also anyone that you love, whether it be a pet, whether it be your perhaps a neighbor, a friend, anyone in your life. I know if as my mum, we have a cat. For some reason, the cat keeps on wanting to get her attention by putting her paws and getting her nails into her leg. Listen to it to me, but just to my mum. And I noticed that this week, especially with that square being there, she's been more frustrated about the cat doing that to her. But my mum loves the cat. Anyways, so we've also got here a square, but on the 9th, a square also starting with Mercury and Saturn. So this is going to be disruptions to communication. Maybe we're going to be bogged down in our thoughts, and I'm not able to. This could be a week where mental health may be an issue that's coming up, because that Saturn is in Pisces, squaring to these other planets, and Mercury is in Gemini. So there's a lot in our heads that are going on around here. But communication not be so freely, might be holding in or not saying the right things here. So we have that. Plus, we've got Venus and Mercury. So Venus on the 9th, Mercury on the 10th is also going to be squaring Neptune as well here. So this is going to be, I get a sense that this week is a lot about frustration, especially by people who are lying to you or trying to manipulate you or trying to really deceive you. I feel like these things is really going to get on your nerves and it's really going to bother you. So I feel like that you're going to have to try and raise above it, raise your energy above it, try and concentrate on these positive aspects that we have this week just to get through it. Otherwise, you're just going to get a bit frustrated. Let's just see if we've got the caller here. Okay. We've got Nancy here. So hi, I'm Nancy. How are you? Okay, Nancy's just dropped out. So so we've got all these things that are coming up this week. And I just feel like it's bringing a lot of tension, a lot of frustration. So even today, things might not work like clockwork, but we still go through it. We be resilient and we have to move on because that's part of being life. That's what I always say. I have a Capricorn moon and I'm an Aquarian, so I'm very logical. Plus I am also I always say I'm a realist. So let's see. Let's do some cards for the week ahead. What's coming up for us? Oh, Mancy. So Mancy, hi Mancy, how can I help you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. And how can I help you?
Yeah, so are you a psychic medium? I just wanted to make sure. I know I'm live right now at the radio.
Yes, I am a psychic medium. Yes, I am.
Okay. I am I lost my parents. My dad in 2020 and my mom in 2022 within 18 months time. I lost both of them suddenly and it was COVID time. I couldn't see them or reach them. Is there any way you can connect to my mom? I'm desperately want to know how she is and how she feels.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, sure. Is your background, you're not American? Are you American?
No, I'm not American. I'm from Sydney, Australia.
I thought that accent was different.
And my background is from India. I'm from India,
yes.
Mumbai.
I was going to say, I should have just said that because I saw you as you're talking, could see your parents and they're telling me we're not American. And I could get a sense of Indian culture. And I should have just said that, but I always second guess myself and it's something I shouldn't do. Okay. I feel like with your mum, she tells me that she's very delicate in how she does things. I feel like she had her hands. I feel like that she has nice, her hands were like skinny hands or delicate hands. I kind of feel like with your mum. And I do see them wearing traditional clothes as well. I do feel like that they liked Australia. They liked being here, or I like being in Sydney too, because they're telling me that as well. And they're also telling me they're very worldly, so they know a lot about the world and what's happening around the world. And education is the key to knowledge. That's what I get from your dad. I feel like with your dad, he had hair. Like I can run my hands through his hair. He had a lot of thick hair with him.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was
fascinated with his. Yeah, he was fascinated with his hair. Like he would always make sure his hair was well done every time he stepped out of the room itself. He was right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I feel like he's not bad looking either. He's just showing me his his looks. It's like showing me, like I said, I feel like he's very proud about how his looks is as well. And they're telling me that you're a very strong girl. And you're a very independent like lady, or he's saying woman. You're very very independent. And he cherishes you so much. Your mum is like, your mum's very good in tradition, or she's very big on tradition. She's like, don't forget about tradition. And I feel like she's got a plate full of food, and I feel like it's a lot of traditional like finger food that I feel like she's got on a silver plate. It's like a silver platter here that she's showing me, and as well. But also with your mum, I feel like she's dancing. So I feel like she likes to dance to traditional music as well, because she's having a little bit of a dance.
Yeah.
Two.
And it's true, Daniel. My mom used to love enjoying dancing with my dad. Like and talking about silver plate, yes, we had one silver plate we sold off due to financial reasons. We sold off her special silverware. And that's true. That's true. And I regret of telling it because that was very precious for her. But we had financial issues, so we had to sell it off.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, your parents. They understand, and they only want the best for you. Everything they did is for you. They're saying we do things for you. They so that you can carry on, and that you can go. Also with your mom, even though I feel like that they are religious in their own cultural religion, yeah. But I also feel like with you, they're very open in their beliefs as well. So I feel like they're open to me, and I feel like they're very open in what I do. And so I feel like they're very respectful, and they're open to not just going down their own sort of religious I'm not too sure too much about your religion, but I just have a feeling like they're more open with other things as well. Like they know there's just one, there's many things. They were open to all the new experiences about the world. They traveled a couple of countries, not America, but other countries, Europe, and they used to love traveling, and they were open to experience new experience, kind of by traveling and knowing people. For your travel, saying to your dad's saying to you, for you, traveling may open up again for you more 227. It's like stay in Sydney or stay in Australia, and then 227 there might be an opportunity for you to go traveling overseas. So I feel like it's going to be overseas, but it's like for now, it's like staying secure too, or for maybe more financially stable as well. That he wants to say to you as well. I know you guys won't forget each other. Yeah. I know that they're always with you in spirit, and they walk with you a lot. And I feel like especially your dad, I feel like he's got his hand on your shoulder. I see his hand on your shoulder. So, okay.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for the validation. Okay. Thank you.
That's okay. No,
believe in communication. Is there any message for them? Is there any special message so that I can stay myself strong? Is there any special message they're showing?
Okay, the main thing is I don't want you to give up. They're referring to 2 children, so I feel like you're going to have 2 children. If you don't have it now, you're going to have 2 children. So they're mentioning 2 children, and you're going to have a family. I do feel like one is going to look like your dad because he's referring to looks as well again. But they want you to keep going and do things your way. Don't let anyone push you or have you sort of under the thumb. They want you to make sure you do things your own way because of your unique way that you do. They're telling me that you're very, very beautiful and very pretty lady. But they want to make sure that you are very comfortable in what decisions that you're making in your life, and that it's your decisions, no one else's.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Astro Weather and Readings with Ashley June. Ashley June. Live from AshleyJune.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astro Weather and Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello, I am Ashley from AshleyJune.com, here with your Astro Weather Report for the week of May 22nd to the 28th. Tomorrow we have the full moon in Sagittarius. That's going to be one of our major aspects of the week. And Sagittarius is the sign of the archer. It's like if you see just like the little symbol for it, it's a bow and arrow. But the thing about Sagittarius is it's not about where the arrow lands. It's about the journey of the flight of the arrow. Sagittarius is the sign of the seeker of truth and ruled by the planet Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck. So this full moon, I think Sagittarius is one of the most fun sides of the zodiac. I think we're going to be really doing a lot of release work or having release energy surrounding what is our truth, what is truth to you, and releasing anything that's holding you back, because Sagittarius cannot be held back. You can't tell Sagittarius what to do. If you try to tell them what to do, they're going to do the opposite. So a lot of release work around those themes. The other thing about Sagittarius, because they are ruled by Jupiter, they are protected by Jupiter. And because Jupiter is that gifter of luck, you might, if you know any Sagittarians, you know this is true, that a Sagittarius can get themselves in all types of trouble, but they always come out smelling like a rose, or they are the person who you're like, why is their life so much easier? They probably don't have a lot of Saturn placements, that teacher taskmaster. Jupiter just makes things easier on a Sagittarius. So full moon in Sag tomorrow. And then we will have also Venus moves into Gemini. And then on the 25th, Jupiter is going to move into Gemini. So we've got a lot of planets changing signs from Taurus into Gemini. This is going to give us a lot lighter energy. Gemini is the sign of the twins. It's an air sign. And Jupiter, when he moves into a new sign, he brings those gifts and luck to that sign. So if you're a Gemini or you have heavy Gemini placements, great for you, because for the next year, you will have Jupiter in your sign. So again, he also brings protection with him. Jupiter protects those that he rules. And whenever he shows up into your sign, he's going to give you a little bit more protection to be able to go out and really go after what it is that you're looking for in life. Always great to have Jupiter in your sign, always very exciting. And I think what we're also going to see with this, because Jupiter makes things bigger and expansive, Gemini is the sign of mental health. It's the sign of the connection of the mind and the body. I think we're going to see on a world front, more talk about this, more looking into mental health and how our brains really affect our bodies. So look out for all of those. Very exciting week. And I am ready for a caller. Julie?
Yes, this is Julie.
Hi, Julie. How are you today?
I'm hanging in there.
Is there anything specific that you've called in for today that you were wanting to ask about? Anything specific going on in your life?
Yeah, my son, he just passed away. Could you tell me why he passed away? I don't know. They don't know why he passed away. He was only 36.
I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, Julie.
Thank you.
Angels and higher vibrational dimensional energies. So let me see what I can get here. Let's see what we have. I'm using my angel decks here. The first thing that I'm having come up with this question is the Six of Water here. And this is about, this card can be about childhood, something, and then the next card coming up is the Two of Earth. So these two cards together, too much going on at once. Did he have any known illnesses or anything that was from his childhood?
He couldn't deal with his dad passing away.
I'm sorry.
His dad passed away when he was only 21. Yeah.
Okay. And so you're saying he just suddenly passed. There was no...
He had a hernia.
The father.
He went in the hospital a couple times for a hernia. They wouldn't do nothing for him. They just gave him medicine for blood pressure pills. Yeah.
For your son?
Yeah. We think maybe the hernia busted or something. He was found on the edge of the couch, leaned over, hunched over. Yep.
What I'm getting here is that that because of the 6 of water that's coming up here, I think that this is something that had been ongoing, but it just wasn't treated. And this 2 of earth also coming up here about a lot of different things going on, but that they weren't treated here. Let me see.
Yeah.
Pull out some chakra energy cards here as well. The card that's coming up is the Raphael card. That's the archangel, and the card is healing. It's a beautiful green card, and you can see the angel Raphael here. So it was an ongoing health issue here is what I'm getting with that as well. And did you ask for there to be an autopsy done to find out?
Yes. He did do the autopsy. It's going to take 4 to 9 months to find out. Yep.
Yeah, it does take a long time. It's not something that's quick.
Because he was only 36 and he passed away by himself. So yeah, they had to do autopsy.
Yes. I'm so sorry to hear of your loss here.
Thank you.
And then the 3rd eye chakra card is coming up next here. So what I'm hearing with this, and this is just a beautiful purple card, and it looks like an eye with the symbol of the 3rd eye chakra. So that's about being able to see the unseen. And I think that, so you knew that he had a hernia. He knew he had a hernia. This is what I'm saying, that he did know that there was an issue here, but that it wasn't treated properly.
Right. Yeah.
Because of that. And then I have the Knight of Air card coming up. This is a card, this is an event that happened very quickly, is what this card represents here. Something happening very, very fast. So what happened when it happened, it was very shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, very shocking.
Very shocking. And I think, and it was very quick to him. It would not have been something that was slow and painful. It would have been very quick.
That helps a lot to know that.
It was not suffering. That Knight of Air card, that is all about quickness. So it happened very quickly. Well, these jump out here. This one. So So the next card I'm using another angel deck here. This card is called Evolution, and it's about preparedness. And what I'm hearing is he was not prepared for this at all, and you've already times that this is very, very shocking.
Right.
Yes, then I have this point of view card coming up in a reverse, and this is all about being oblivious, not knowing, not seeing this coming. So it was obviously a shock for you, but it was a shock for him as well. And what I'm hearing is that this was an ongoing health issue, but it was just never taken care of properly. And I'm so sorry. Very difficult. But I am hearing that it was very shocking for him, but that he's in a good place now, and that he is in the light, and you don't have to worry about that, and that he is able to. So when you want to talk to him because he is with you, he is around you. That he likes to maybe listen for songs. If he might send you songs, certain music that comes on, for him to show you that he's with you and near you. That is one of the ways that he might contact you there, Julie. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Julie. And I'm, again, so sorry for your loss. Always such a difficult thing to lose the ones that we love. But he's not completely gone. He's just in another form on the other side. And you can still talk to him because he can still hear you for sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. And listeners, if you would like to book a private reading with me, an astrological reading or a psychic reading, you can contact me at ashleijune.com. That's ASHLIEJUNE.com.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Maria Leggett's Medium Show with Maria Leggett. Live from MariaLeggett.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Maria Leggett's Medium Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday afternoon show. I am so happy to have all of you here. It has been a really crazy last week for me. I have a spiritual retreat coming up, and it starts tomorrow. The first guest arrives tomorrow, and the other guests will arrive Thursday and Friday, and I'm super excited. I'm holding it at my house, and we're going to do some amazing stuff. They are my 2-year graduating students from my mediumship program, and we're going to have an amazing time. I'm really looking forward to spending time with these women. I have a beautiful 30-foot circle in my backyard because we have 13 acres here in the Dayton area. And we're just going to have such an amazing time being able to sit and talk to spirit and connect with them. And this is their graduation weekend. So this is the pinnacle of everything that they've been working for. They will be receiving certificates for their graduation that show that they have done everything that they needed to do to work professionally as a medium. And so I'm super excited for all of this. One of the things that we're doing is on Saturday, so if you're in the Dayton area, on Saturday at Temple of the Rebel Goddess, I am doing a how to make your own ancestral oracle deck. And this is going to be with your ancestors to teach you how you can start talking to and working with your ancestors. And the easiest way to do it is to make copies of pictures. Don't use any of the originals, of course. You can do it almost like scrapbooking, and you can also do it where they're online, and I'm teaching both methods. The easiest way to do it is on Canva. You can do it with a free account because you're using your own pictures. You don't have to worry about paying for the account, which is one of the things that I love about Canva. So you can go to templeoftherebelgoddess.com and look that up and join the class if you're in the Dayton area. So I'm super excited for all of you to be here. And so today we are going to welcome Loretta. Hi, Loretta. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are things? How's your grandbaby?
It's still iffy. It's still up in the air, I guess.
Okay.
What I would call it.
All righty. So what can I help you with today, my friend?
You can give me a little bit of input on what you feel about that, and then just whatever you feel.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab some tarot cards, and we're gonna let the tarot deck give us the information that you're looking for when it comes to the situation with you and your family. So anybody who is listening or watching, Loretta is one of my existing clients. So I'm super excited to hear from her. As soon as I saw Loretta from Miamisburg, I knew she was my client. All right. So here we go, Loretta. We're just asking for the cards to show us some information that we need to be helpful for Loretta in her current family situation. All right. So we have some cards that dropped over. So we're going to start with those. So, I love all of this. So here's the thing. So first of all, we have the 8 in tarot with the major arcana, which is strength. And this is that beautiful fortitude of strength, right, that we're born with. And I love that it's a female with a lion, because this is not physical brute strength. This is that feminine wherewithal for I can get through anything. I just have to stay strong. And what's really interesting to me, I love that. I love that even better. I love that even more. And so on this card as well, Loretta, what's interesting is because I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot, this actually has a tornado in the background. So this is showing that we have the strength to get through all the chaos and all the stuff that's shifting in our background. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So in the back of this card, there's actually a tornado. And the tornado is a symbol for the chaos and things that can go on when we're not around, right? Because it's behind her back. So all the chaos that can go around behind us. Does that make sense?
It's going to swerve, basically. Is that what you're saying?
No. It's just, there's a lot of chaos. So you have the strength to get through the chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all it is. And what I love about this is that she is looking, right? And so she's looking, I'm looking at her, and if I turn it around backwards, she's looking to the left. So I'm looking back at the past, and I'm looking at all the things that I have been through, and I'm going to turn my head and look at where I need to go. And I know that I have the strength to carry everything that I need to carry to get through what I need to get through. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got chills on down my right side.
Good. That means that your body is resonating with the information. So we also have the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is the heartbreak, right? It's the really difficult heartbreak that we go through in our lives. And it is painful. It is not enjoyable. And this is what we have the strength to get through all of these things. Now, I'm not saying that the outcome is going to be the Three of Swords. What I am saying is all of the stuff that you've already been through is where you're pulling the strength from to keep continuing to get through it. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes complete sense.
Okay. And it's interesting. So I look back at this and I can see the journal and I can just hear Spirit say, are you continuing to document and write everything down that you need to write down?
For the most part, yes.
Okay, good.
There's just been there's more of a distance between us now than between the times that I see her. So,
okay.
And then my daughter, I don't know if you want me to tell you this or not, but she's due with twins within the next week.
Okay. So the next card that we have is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords tells me, because swords are all about air. It's all the things that are in our brains, the things that we think about. It's all intellectual stuff. And so the Five of Swords shows me, again, we have that chaos, right? Things are up in the air. Some people are sad. Some people are happy. Other people are like, I don't know what's going on. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background. And Spirit is showing it to me as though you have this desire to be included in all of it. And you're really being excluded. So you're the one that's crying at this point and not comfortable. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So what else do we have Spirit show us? Here we have more. So we have lots of pages. We have lots of cards that dropped out. We have a couple of pages which represent, so we have 2 pages. And those are all the younger, these would be the younger children that you're just discussing. So those 2 are being brought up. We also have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, if anybody's watching and can see the picture, the Nine of Wands is a female who's holding a wand and she looks like somebody has really beat her up, but good. And what this tells us, this Nine of Wands is telling us that we have been through so much. We have been beat up. We've been pushed around. But we're still here to tell the story. We are not backing down, and we're going to continue to fight the way that we need to fight. The other thing is we have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is showing me, right? We have a lot of swords that are showing up for you because this is all the stuff that we're thinking. And the Nine of Swords tells me that I am not sleeping at night. I'm letting all of this kind of overtake my comfort level. I'm thinking about it all the time. Does that make sense?
I sleep pretty good at night, but I've been dreaming a lot more.
Okay. So the Nine of Swords is going to be indicative of, if you're sleeping well, it's going to be indicative of, we need to start trying to let go of some of it and not hold on to it, and know that Spirit's going to bring us what we need when we need it. And we have this Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles, even though it represents the financial stuff, the Seven of Pentacles to me very much means that we've planted all the seeds. Now all we have to do is wait. We have to wait and allow Spirit to begin the difficult transition between what is currently happening and what is going to happen. And I don't see it, the way that they're showing it to me is not that it's an easy transition, but it will happen. And you just have to wait and allow for all of these seeds to come to fruition, allow them to grow, allow them to do what you need them to do. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I feel like Spirit's been telling me that for a while.
Yeah, and that's what the cards keep showing. So I don't disagree. I mean, and that's what they keep talking about. Is there a different question that you want to ask?
I still basically want to know if my granddaughter will be coming home to me. I mean,
okay.
I've had other readings. Okay.
I'm just shuffling the cards to see what we're getting. Come on, show me.
Can I ask you something else too while we're here?
Sure. I have just a few minutes left. Go ahead.
Okay. I basically would like to know, which I don't have no way to find out physically, but if there's the abuse still going on, and like what kind of relationship is really happening between my daughter and her husband and their family.
So I don't see it as though the abuse is still happening. And when I ask Spirit very clearly, what is she going to be able to come home? I get the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is about childhood, and there's a home in the background. And this is all about things from our childhood getting brought up. And so it took forever for that card to come out. So I just want you to trust in whatever Spirit is doing right now, because they're not giving me a very clear yes or a very clear no. So it's literally just sit and be patient and wait for all the things to come, even though I know it's not easy. But I did get, when I asked about the abuse, I got the Death card. And death is that transition, right? Things are different, things are changing. And it's not a physical death, it's just something is stopping, and then there's a rebirth. So thank you very much, Loretta, for joining the show. I appreciate you very, very much. And for anybody else who is watching, if you would like to book a one-to-one reading with me, you can go to marialeggett.com and click on Book With Me. And I would love to see you. I also have my soul group, which is open, and the registration is going to end May 31st. And I would love to see you in there to be able to teach you how to work with your spirit guides and how to connect with your own spirit team. Thank you very much.
Psychic Radio Network and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. And now, Reverend Elliot's Magical Window with Reverend Elliot. Live from magic-works.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is Reverend Elliot, your friendly neighborhood esoteric practitioner, coming to you once again live from the city of New York, where, contrary to media reports, people are not getting machine gunned in the streets. In fact, ever since the lockdowns a couple of years ago, this is a far friendlier town. I'm in Midtown, so my area is just in the theater district near Times Square. So we get a lot of people from all over the world visiting us here, and even the locals are friendly. New Yorkers have a reputation for being nasty. Forget about it. You know, I can't even leave the house without getting into 2 or 3 conversations, just like between here and the grocery store, which is around the corner. People just are starved to talk and meet each other, and are they sick of politics? Let me tell you, that's my own unofficial straw poll. Why is it called a straw poll anyway? I'll have to look that up sometime. Speaking of straws, I had my, the summer is 8 days old, and I had my first gin and tonic today, and my second and my third of the summer. And I'm able to do that and sound so clear and level-headed because at my advanced age, I use like about a tablespoon of gin in each gin and tonic. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But I love the crispy, the refreshingness of gin and tonic with lime. Oh, man, that is just wonderful. To me, that's the second best thing you can do with lime. First best is key lime pie. Outstanding. I used to make such a wonderful key lime pie. I brought one to a restaurant a friend of mine owned years ago, and the people each got a slice, and then they put it in the refrigerator, and then unbeknownst to even the owner of the place, the staff sold it. They thought, oh, look, we have key lime pie on the menu. Now, I can't do that because I'm not, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many thousands of regulations there are if you want to go into the food business, which is one of the reasons I didn't. But if you want to get into that, wow, I mean, people talk about, well, we need smaller government. One of the areas, I'm not going to get into the political aspects of it, but you can take years to satisfy the requirements for the labeling of a package when you sell food. So I steer clear of that kind of stuff. I have lots of nice things for sale because I think it's nice to sell nice things, and I unfortunately I had to raise my prices lately because, in case you hadn't noticed, right, things are getting more and more expensive. But I did raise. This is just fair warning for the people who go to mojoacademy.org, mojoacademy.org. You don't have to go to mojoacademy.org. I'm mentioning that over and over again. But yeah, because I do say, look, this is really not the time to spend money on extraneous things. But there are a couple of books at mojoacademy.org that I think they rise to the level of necessity, especially in the times that we're in now, where, unfortunately, we have a lot of people in this country right now scared to death over things they don't understand. They think they understand it. That's the essence of fear, I suppose. But everything is going to move along just fine. This is a time of change, and change scares people. And that's why I think one of the things that I recommend the most is a book called Unmasking Fear. It was written in 1919. I wrote 2 introductions to the updated version of it because I wasn't old enough to write in 1919. But It's a book that is very important, and I love it when people buy it and talk about it, because it is about the way certain power structures in the world control people by keeping them afraid, you see. Now, I always say that everything you need to know about politics, you can see in the movie The Music Man, where the guy whips everybody up into a frenzy over a problem that doesn't exist just so that he can sell them a solution, okay? We see this all the time. And people, I'm sorry to have to say this, but fear is addicting. Physically, fear is addicting because there's certain hormones that get released when the adrenaline goes running, and it changes the body, it changes the mind. And unfortunately, there are people who become addicted to fear, and they need a dose of fear, and they're always going to be afraid. And if you try to show them that what they're afraid of isn't really scary, they'll cut your throat. You're taking away something that's most important. There are, for some reason, people who only feel alive when they're scared. This is where we get these like vertical drop roller coasters. A good old-fashioned roller coaster isn't enough for our jaded society. But this book, Unmasking Fear, when it was written, there wasn't even radio. There was no mass media. People didn't understand. Now, you want to understand why mass media has the power to scare you? And you want to understand when they realized it? Go to YouTube, look online for the 1930s. Was it 39, I guess, was it, or 38? See how terrible I am with dates. I can tell you a story about the worst date I ever had, but that's a little later. Listen to the Orson Welles famous, everyone knows about it, but very few people have actually heard it. The Orson Welles War of the Worlds broadcast. Here's something that's fascinating to maybe 4 people listening. That script was actually edited down and written by the actor Paul Stewart, which very few people, some of you out there have got to be Paul Stewart fans, like I am. You'll know him when you see him. He's wonderful in Kiss Me Deadly. But this was the thing that achieved legendary status when Orson Welles pretended to have Martians invading New Jersey. And people believed it. Now, was there nationwide panic the way the newspapers reported it the next day? No. There are some interesting books about why newspapers misreported it. However, enough people did believe it. Enough people did believe that something could be launched, a spaceship could be launched on Mars and land in New Jersey 8 minutes later, which on its own is ludicrous, that the powers that be at the time learned that whatever people hear from a well-modulated voice over the radio and later television will be believed by a certain percentage of the people. And that's what we have now. You say, how can this person or that person lie? Well, because it works, and that there's just no other way around it. But using fear, the one thing that I spent years in the news business, and I spent years in politics. And one thing is the flip side of the other. I know that a lot of you understand that there's a direct, like, politics to media pipeline, and I was on it. How can I phrase this? If you're busy being scared, you're not going to think about what's coming up. You're not going to be rational about things. When you're scared, the blood drains from your brain, literally. It goes to your arms and your legs, so that you can run or fight. It's a fight or flight syndrome. Literally, scaring you makes you dumber. We've all been startled and then found out that it was scared and it was something silly. I got the bejabbers scared out of me one night when I saw myself in a mirror. Now, I know I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but at that point, it was the middle of the night in somebody else's apartment. I was visiting a friend. I couldn't have been more than 10 years old, at least. I was in the area of about 10 years old when there had been a massive power failure, and I didn't know my way around, and I turned a corner in the apartment in the dark, and there was a person coming right at me, and it was me in a mirror, but I didn't know that because I was scared, you see. So I didn't even recognize myself. See? What is the expression people use? I want you to repeat this to yourself, because this is behind all the attempts to scare you in media. Scared out of your wits. Okay? What are your wits? Your wits are your intelligent faculties. Scared out of your wits. That's the holy grail of broadcasting. And this book, Unmasking Fear, was written before broadcasting, which is up at the time it was written, broadcasting was a farming term. It had to do with scattering seeds. That was broadcasting your seed. Just throw it across the field. So they picked up that as a metaphor for running things on mass media, which prior to radio never existed. I mean, nobody was hunched over the Morse code machine. I think the correct word is telegraph, Elliot, and waiting for fight results. So anyway, this is by way of my mentioning mojoacademy.org and why I like to sell ethical products. I don't sell anything that's unethical. I don't sell like a magical kit that will cure this or that problem. I do sell magical kits that can help you deal with these problems. I don't sell them very often because most of the time I dissuade people from buying them. Brilliant sales technique, right, to talk people out of the sale. But if a person doesn't need it, I don't want to sell it to them. I explain that in my book, Reverend Elliot Explains It All. See, isn't that funny how everything I bring up now is related to a product I'm pushing? And at the same time, do you see, I'm telling you, don't buy anything from me. And I mean it sincerely. Because I sell some of the pendants that I have, which have magical symbols on them, and I can. And anybody buys those and you don't know how to use it, just contact me and I'll let you know. But like I said, we're in very dangerous times right now because people are scared, and if you're under 40, which I'm trusting some of you are, you never experienced inflation like this, never. And all I'll tell you, without, this is nothing magical. This is no serious revelation. The only way you can fix and stop inflation is with recession. And recession, if it gets out of control, becomes a depression. Now, we have not heard that word depression since 1932, when the Great Depression happened. I remember a radio personality asking, what was so great about the Depression? I didn't think it was very good. Why do they call it the great? No, great means huge. This is what, in fact, originally was meant when people referred to the United States as this great land of ours. They meant that it goes from coast to coast, that it's huge, it's colossal. And of course, these things change, because, to me, my favorite word that shifted is incredible. People think incredible means wonderful. Incredible means lacking in credibility and can't be believed. Now, a few years ago, about 15, 20 years ago, there was a guy advertising a product on the radio here, which was garbage. It was a fake product. It was a pseudo-medical thing. It was garbage. It was baloney. I'm using the most polite words I can in mixed company. But he didn't get into trouble. When they tried to shut him down, he said, I told people it was not real, because his ad began with the words, everything I'm about to tell you now is completely incredible. Now, what he was saying was, don't believe me. But everybody heard it as, being, wow, that's incredible, that is not what incredible means. So, boy, am I going on a tangent here. My favorite fruit is a tangent. The thing is that we have fear now, and the money supply is shrinking in value. You can't do that accidentally, I might add. For some reason I can't even fathom, people wanted to do this, and they did it. Now, they won't use the word depression. That's what got me on words changing, because of the images that conjures up of people selling apples, and the mythology that the stock market crashed in October of 1929 and the next day the Depression started. No, the Depression started a little bit later. There, a couple of years after that, but it was still bad after the stock market crash. But we're we have two bad choices now. We can leave things the way they are, and bit by bit, your savings and your money will go away. Your house will be worth more, but nobody will be able to buy it. Or they can engineer a recession, and it will be really bad for about 2 years with high unemployment. But after that, we'll be fine. And people don't want to do that. People really resent the idea of having to suffer to get something. And I understand that. And they should question. They should ask questions like, why was this done? So I'm going to be getting tarot readings tonight. You watch, that have a lot of new beginnings in them. Aces, the Wheel of Fortune. I pull a card before each show to give me a sense of what's going on in the environment. And the card I got was the Wheel of Fortune, which is we're in changing times. I certainly hope, because we can't maintain what's going on now. We can't keep this up because people are suffering, and there's no need for it. The problem is that for the first couple of years, the cure is worse than the disease. The people of Japan took care of this many years ago when they had rampant inflation, and the government told them what they were going to do. Said, we are good. You know, they didn't lie to them. They didn't say everything is fine. Everybody knew it wasn't. And they said, here's what we're going to do. There's going to be a recession. People are going to be struggling. It's going to hurt a lot of people, but you're going to be fine in a couple of years. So they asked people to help each other and work together, right? Help your neighbors, work together, and we'll all get through this. And they did. And Japan emerged as one of the strongest economies on the planet. Well, you can't do that at a time when the political and media people are pushing division. We're supposed to hate people who disagree with us. And this is very important. This comes out as the sum and substance of the book, Unmasking Fear, because you're not supposed to disagree with somebody. You're supposed to cancel them. You're supposed to eradicate them. You're supposed to fear them if they disagree with you. Anytime I state an opinion when I get into a political discussion, I do it with the underlying assumption that I could be wrong. Because if I'm willing to assume that you're wrong, then I have to understand that you can assume that I'm wrong. And you may have a point, and that's called learning. But right now, we have a situation when we need it the least, where it's my team is better than your team. And I'm going to vote for my team. But that's changing. People are switching teams. I won't go into that too deeply because that's beyond the scope of what we're doing here. But I'm just saying that the problem we're facing now is far from transitory, and it's going to hurt people. And this is the time when you may want to take a look at some of the books that I have at mojoacademy.org. Not all of them. I mean, I don't think you need the books like on numerology, or I don't think you need the book about William Jennings Bryan's last speech, things like that. They're interesting and they're historical. But what we need now is a toolbox, man. We need tools to deal with what's being thrust upon us by people who claim to love us and care of us and have our best interest at heart. Okay. I think you know where I'm going with that. So, I'm not going to get political on this because politics comes and goes. And, anyone over 40 has been here before. We've seen it before, and we knew we'd see it again. And you can't plausibly say that everything is fine and we don't need to do anything. But prepare yourselves mentally and emotionally, because there are people who want to scare you. That's all I want to get across now. Bad things, we don't like when bad things happen, but bad things happen. And that is not to say that bad things don't make us better. The old thing, whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Well, I'm not sure I want to be made stronger that way. That's a good swift kick in the groin is not going to make me stronger tomorrow, but so don't do that to me. But what I'm telling you is there's a highly paid industry out there to scare you, and I am here to give you positive energy and hope in terms of reality, which is that the reality is there is a whole industry which is coextent with politics, which is designed to scare you. So if you're feeling scared, okay. Now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to change things that you can't change? Or are you going to change the things that you can change, which are like essentially you? You can change you. See? And then you'll be stronger for that. That's the long way of saying, come on, guys, don't be scared needlessly. Fear is important, by the way. Fear is the emotion that tells us something's wrong. When you're constantly in fear, that's terror, and that's no good. You know, we punish terrorists because terror is no good. Same thing with anger. Anger is good. Anger is the feeling that tells you that you've been mistreated. Constant anger is rage, and that will kill you. It will kill you. So check out certain things, like Reverend Elliott Explains It All. See, I've got things in that book that'll show you how to use meditation techniques to clear the negative energy away from you. There's recordings there at mojoacademy.org for cleansing negative energy. It works. Let me tell you, it works. You know, this is, I think, one of the greatest inventions of modern history was the iPod. I know they're not going to be making them anymore, but there's still music players that you can use. And just put a meditation on that, pop it on your head at night, and go to sleep listening to it. And you'll be amazed at what good stuff it can do. And you can see, I even have the Three Stooges meditation disc at mojoacademy.org. And all these things are there to help. Psycholaxation. Now that was a recording. Could you imagine? That was a record from 1955 as a guided meditation, possibly one of the first ones. You'd have to put what we would call the hi-fi right near the bed in those days. Now you can just pop earbuds on and listen to psycholaxation. These are all things that will help you. And that's why I mentioned mojoacademy.org. Like I said, in times like these, I'm torn between not wanting to do any hard pressure sales technique stuff, which I don't do anyway. But there are things there that will change your life. That was the reason that we started Mojo Brothers Publishing. There are things there that will change your life. And among them will be those things like the Three Stooges meditation. It's a Shemp meditation disc. I know it sounds silly, but it works. It's been around since the 70s and was an underground cassette, and you can get a CD of it and get that audio out and put it into your player. Psycholaxation, that has helped me beautifully. I have chakra meditations there that will clear your negative energy because, folks, negative energy is coming at you like a tidal wave right now. And they're counting on it. They're running negative energy and negative stuff on television constantly to get you to be messed up. Don't allow it. Okay, we're going to wrap this up and get to the tarot readings, which is why we're here. But I'm doing this because this environment of fear, anger, rage, deliberately foisted upon us by people who make money. They do it for money to hurt people. We got to bring an end to this. And I want you all to take responsibility for cleansing your own mind and spirit of the negative, ugly energies that highly paid people are putting there. Let me tell you something, because I've done it. I opened up by saying I had my first gin and tonic of the summer today. You don't, just please trust me on this. You do not want to sit down in a bar and have drinks with news people, because your anger level and your blood pressure will rise. They are not what you think they are. They're not Walter Cronkite sitting in a room just giving you the news. These are these are like pushers of fear. And they know it and they like it. I'll be happy to talk to any of you off the air about this if you want to. I mean, quite seriously. My email is asktarot, ASKTAROT, @earthlink.net. Anybody wants to get in touch with me about any of this, you just drop me a line. Also, if you want a free tarot mini reading, that's my gift to the Ask One Radio audience. Drop me a line there. asktarot @earthlink.net. I've been shuffling up the cards, you see. And it won't help because the cards are going to show that these are times of change and negativity. But we're going to deal with it on an individual level. There goes my throat. Hang on. There we are. The golden throat is back. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now to declare sacred space, and we're going to get to our first reading. Draw back the curtain on the magical window for Angela in Brooklyn. Hi, Angela. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, fellow New Yorker?
Oh, I guess I'm okay. Just
well, maybe we can make it better. It is tiring, you know. I mean, we keep hearing about how horrible things are in New York now, and we're here, you know. But I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, things have been better, but I don't think of it as horrible. I don't know. So
no, I don't think of it as horrible either. I love New York.
Yeah, you know, the people outside of New York, a lot of people, they still think that Death Wish was what New York was really like. You know, even back then, New York wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. You know,
I still love going in the city. I mean, it's coming back, and I'm really happy that
Yeah. I mean, we have a few nuts around, but for a city of 8.5 million people, goodness, you know.
But they were always there.
Yes, they were. So, Angela, what can I look at for you?
Well, since my husband's been gone a few years, and right now, financially, I'm kind of struggling, but I have my house, and I have an apartment that I was renting, a co-op, and I'm in the process of selling it, but it's a lot of problems with the real estate. It's been a disaster, and I just hope it's going to end soon without me going, you know, making a little bit of a profit, but I'm having a very hard time in, you know, trusting the real estate guy, and I hope it ends soon because financially I need it to end.
Yeah, well, I tell you, while you started talking, before you told me what was on your mind, the first card I got was the King of Coins, which is about money, which is about mastering money and dealing with money. So I could see that was the issue. There's also sadness involved. I guess that relates to the loss of your husband because I have the 9 of Swords here. So there's still a lot of sadness going on around that, and there always will be, I'm sure.
And then I have family issues. You know, family makes me crazy and stuff.
Oh well, you know,
that's kind of normal.
I know. I actually fired my family long ago. You know, so I did. I said right out. You know, so genetics doesn't give you a special privilege to abuse me, folks. So
well, they do anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me tell you, there's changes coming. That's the Wheel of Fortune. There's changes coming your way, and they're going to be good changes because the next card is the 8 of Cups, and that is a card of a person who gets from where she is, you know, to something, and leaves something that isn't working, which is where you are, and is going to something better. So you're working on improving yourself, and I see that it's going to pay off because the next card is the 9 of Cups, and that's a card of satisfaction and enjoyment. It's also a card that is a person who knows how to enjoy life. There's a warning in that card that people may be envious of you because of that you're going to live well. You know, and there's the Ace of Cups too. So the two things these are very good cards here. The two things that are most important to you are financial but emotional. I mean, you're not one of these people who's going to do anything for money. That it has to feel right for you, and you're going to get that. You're going to do that. In fact, I've got the 10 of Cups, which is a great card of happiness and joy. So you will come through this okay. It's one of the quirks of inflation is that real estate gets to bring in more money than it would ordinarily. It's one of those strange things. That's why when inflation starts coming, it looks like a good time at first. Because, you know, and because there's a lot of money around, and you know there was a lot of money being spent. So there's still a chance that things will work out well for you. In fact, I have a card here which is the 6 of Rods, which is great success and triumph. So I do think that things are going to work out really well for you.
And what about emotionally and all that? I mean, I do busy. I do have friends and stuff, but I'm still kind of stuck.
Well, I there's nothing you can do except, you know, understand that it's the way of life. You know, when we outlive somebody who was that close to us, it's not fair. You know what I mean? That's about it. But the Ace of Cups is here, which is a rebirth of emotional stuff. The aces are beginnings, and the cups are joy and happiness and affairs of the heart. And so it's telling me that this is the best of all of them. This is the same thing on steroids. It is the Sun, which is a card of healing and health and growth. So I think you're going to come through okay. Let me just shuffle it up one more and get one more card.
Okay.
And see if that adds anything to it, because it's a boringly happy reading, So let's see what we get here. This probably relates to the real estate thing. It's the Three of Rods, and that is about you in partnership with somebody else are waiting for the results to happen, and the results will happen. The results will come in.
Okay.
So hang in there, and remember, if you don't feel right about a professional who's working on your behalf, speak to that person and consider finding somebody else. This is because this is a time of this is a time when people who have assets have a little bit more power than usual. Like if you're one of those lucky people who has some cash to deal with, you'll get better interest rates now. That's a byproduct of inflation, and you gotta take it where you get it, right? But I think you're going to come out of this okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye now. And let's shuffle up the cards again. You're listening to Reverend Elliot's Magical Window on the Ask One Radio Network, where we get together every Wednesday at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific to look through the magical window of the tarot, which we're going to do right now for Donna in Del City, Oklahoma. Hi, Donna. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Well, let's see what we can do to make that better. What can I look at for you?
Oh, my goodness. Everything helps.
Was there anything in particular you want to look at?
Maybe just, no, not really.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. I have a card here that is a card of somebody who feels stuck and is not moving and not going anywhere. Is that what you're feeling?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
I said it tonight. Yes, I did.
That's the Eight of Swords.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a circle.
Well, let's see if we can take a look at what that's all about, because I do see better times coming for you, and coming soon, I might add, because that's the Eight of Rods. That means whatever's coming your way is in motion now. This is vague, but it says, because I'm looking at the bigger picture, did something happened that made you sad recently?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Okay, well...
yeah.
Because I've got...
yeah.
I have this... You don't have to tell me more than you want to. I mean, if you don't want to go into detail, that's absolutely fine. But I'm seeing that you're feeling stuck, which you confirmed. The Three of Swords is a card of sadness, and I don't want to go into more than that, because you know what it means. You know what I'm talking about. You know why you're feeling sad, and if you don't want to go into it, I certainly am not going to force you to go into that in front of all these people. But I do see this situation changing and getting better for you, and sooner than you think. Not right away, but sooner than you think.
You're blowing my mind, because everything you're hitting right on the head. Right on the head. Yes.
Is there a legal matter in your life right now?
Yes, but I can't get anywhere with it. I had a daughter that was in an accident and killed, and I don't know. I wasn't told what happened. I was told she was in an accident, didn't survive, but she was hit by a train, and I never identified the body. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
Because I've got cards that indicate both a legal issue and sadness. So now what I was going to ask you about the sad part, but you just told us. So. Yeah, these are all the things. The cards are showing me exactly what's on your mind, and the cards are showing me exactly what the issues are. Now, that doesn't really help because let's see if we can shuffle them up and see what it's going to be like in the near future here. See if we can get some kind of idea about where this is leading you. This is the thing about tarot, which is just astounding to me. As many years as I've been doing this, which is about 42,000 years in human years, it never ceases to amaze me how these cards can get right to what's going on. Okay, now again, I shuffled up the cards, you heard them, but I've got still the Nine of Swords, which is the card of great sadness, and the Judgment card. That's why I asked about the law. These cards came back. And then I have another one for you, which is about the Judgment card is about getting what you deserve. It's getting what belongs to you. It's getting what you merit. And the Temperance card is here. The Temperance card is telling me, because we're looking at the future here, that your life balance will be restored in your life. It is unbalanced now, and it should be, because bad things happened, and they throw us off balance. So there's no shame in that. But the two cards I'm seeing for your future are the Temperance card, which means that balance will be restored, and the Ten of Swords, which means that the worst is over, and you're still here, and you're going to get up and keep going. And just to be sure, I got the Justice card. That means there's definitely going to be some action in terms of the legal stuff that you're pursuing. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
So right now you're in the thick of it, and it's upsetting. As somebody who just concluded a couple of years of legal action myself, that I know how that weighs on the mind. But I'm seeing that the Judgment and Justice cards are pretty damn good indication that you're going to get justice here in this case. So hang in there, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to light a candle for you after the show to send positive energy your way. How's that?
That's great.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. And let's shuffle them up again. See, it's amazing to me how tarot goes right to the heart of what's going on. Now, if it doesn't, because every time I ask the question like, did you have a loss recently? I'm making an inference from the cards that I pull, but I'm always prepared for it to be wrong. It rarely is wrong. And that's not me. That's not, look what a great tarot reader I am. No. That is such a trap in the esoteric world when the magician starts to take credit for the work. But it's not. We work the system. In fact, if you remember the stories, if you remember your Bible stories, this is why Moses was denied entry into the Promised Land. Could you imagine wandering around for all these years and not getting allowed in? Because he did something. He claimed credit for a miracle that he didn't do. And he needed to be brought down a peg for that one. And that's why he was denied entry in the Promised Land. Courtney in California is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. Anything special you want to look at? Or should I just look through the cards and see what shows up?
I kind of wanted to talk about like my past life. I've always felt really connected to Marilyn Monroe, and I don't know if there's actually something there. So if we could tap into that.
I had an interesting experience with Arthur Miller, to whom she was married for a while. That was a weird experience. There was a guy who, I'll tell you briefly, there was a guy who was famous in the 1960s who by the 1990s, he had a lot of weird ideas, but he was a fascinating guy. He made a lot of things happen. And I introduced him to a literary agent, and we were sitting in a restaurant having lunch, and he used to get up and walk out of the restaurant every few minutes because next door was an off-track betting parlor, which we used to have in New York. Only New York City could run a bookie joint and blow it and ruin it. So they had to be shut down. But he was a little bit of an overpowering personality, this man, and he could inflate his ego a bit. And one of the times he left the restaurant to go to check on his bets, the agent turned to me and says, "Who does he think he is, Arthur Miller?" And guess who walked into the restaurant the moment she said that? It was Arthur Miller.
Oh my gosh.
Which is this kind of stuff that happened around this guy all the time. So, hey, what can I tell you? This if you feel a connection, it can be real. Now, what I can do is look at some stuff for you.
I'm also a medium,
excellent.
and so there's so many things that we just connect. Like the same cat that she had, the same dog that she had, the same color hair, same color eyes, same height, same weight, same body shape. I mean, it's just down to like everything. It's just insane. I was adopted. I was passed through homes myself. I had 3 loves in my life. I'm very young. I could say 24, but I feel like I've lived 1,000 lifetimes. I just being a medium, I've never been able to read myself unless I'm talking to someone else.
There's an image in Buddhism about lifetimes. Like how many lifetimes how long do we have to do this? And the image is this. Picture a huge mountain like the size of Mount Everest, right? Yeah. And a bird flies by Mount Everest with a piece of silk in its beak. And the piece of silk brushes against the top of Mount Everest. And that bird flies by once a year. The amount of time we need is the amount of time it takes that bird with the silk to wear the mountain down.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, it's in Hinduism, of course, they deal in hundreds of thousands of year installments, kalpas and things like that. Have you done anything like Akashic record meditations?
I've done multiple meditations with worldwide known psychics multiple times. Worked with them a few times, though I have ended up in like a psych ward just from getting overloaded from, being really spiritual and my mediumship and psychicism coming out. But I got more of a grip on it. My last time that I was at the hospital was last October I got out. So, and it was only for a month. It was a really long time. That was probably the longest, but
I hope everything is okay.
Yeah.
I hope everything's okay.
Better.
A month in the hospital is a nightmare, let's face it.
Yeah, no, it is, definitely. So,
you seem pretty clear about what you want. Now, let me just preface this also just quickly by saying, I understand where you're coming from because I have even from childhood, have very clear images of a previous existence of my own.
Yes. And I have those too. When I've done past life regressions, I've seen images of, and this will freak some people out on the air listening, but I've had, where I've seen specifically 2 to 3 men in suits around me and walking outside of my house to the side of my trellis, and then it just gets black from there. And I've always been afraid of suffocating for some reason, and I do not like taking medicine. They tried to get me on schizophrenic medications and what they did to Marilyn, basically. And I've had just really crazy experiences happen where I should not be here today, and somehow I am.
Well, you're here, and you're aware.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. I'm not doing this as a plug, but there's a book that my company reprinted called How I Discovered My Mediumship. And it was by probably the most famous American medium of the early 20th century, which means she's totally forgotten now. But she's been through. She explains what it's like growing up that way, and how everyone treated her like she was a lunatic. And yet she gained an astonishing reputation as a very clear medical medium, in fact.
Yeah, I'm actually able to pick up on people's health problems that they're going through. I mean, it's crazy the things that I'm able to pick up on. I thought I was just a medium at first, but then I was able to pick up on like what's going on with your left eye or your right knee or your shoulder or your back pain or your stomach. Like even your heart, like I could pick up on things that I just should not be able to. And with Marilyn Monroe, she also was very much into finding out about things. She visited Area 51 with John F. Kennedy. I mean, she did so many things.
Well,
about her comrades too.
I live just a few blocks away from the Actors Studio. So,
wow.
have you ever visited there? I mean, that might be, you might, just standing near that building might do things for you, might bring things up.
I've actually been to New York one time. I swam in the Hudson River in Albany, and then I went to the Times Square, and then I went to Ellis Island to see like my history of like my biological family, and we dug into it a little bit because there's not much that I really know. I never knew my father, just like Marilyn Monroe. I still don't know him to this day. There's some mystery there. And my mother, she was in and out of prison.
And keep up with the meditation work, because you do have memories in there that you don't know you have from this life, even. Because our memories go way back. I'm running short on time here, but I would recommend, because you do see. I sometimes hear from people in your situation who don't understand what's happening to them or why. You're not in that. Yeah. You seem further along with that, which is fine. I mean, that'll help you. But I do think that if you look at mojoacademy.org and look at the book Understanding How I Discovered My Mediumship, there may be some things that you could pick up there that'll help you out, because it's a very moving story of a woman who survived all of the attempts to put her down in a way, So give it a shot. It may
through my hospitalization.
It may help you out. Let me tell you that the one thing I'm seeing here. Just let me leave you with this, since I'm here for tarot. There's a 4 of Cups is the card I get for you. And that is a card that shows a person looking at 3 cups, and there's another cup coming out of a cloud in a hand, and the person doesn't see it yet. That's a card of hidden influences. And that's important, because that's what you're talking about. Is you want to get a handle on those hidden influences that are in your life.
Yes.
So, see what you can do through meditation. I recommend the Tara Sutphin's meditation for Akashic memories. That's a very good one. If you can find that, I think it's still for sale. If not, if you have a problem with it, I can look around to see where it is and see if I can get you a copy. But that does very good too. But How I Discovered My Mediumship might help you. And remember, the point of this book is that you're dealing with hidden influences, and you know that, and you're not scared of them. That's the important thing. I've got to run now. I want to see if I can get one more call in, but it's been great talking to you, and I wish you all the best with this. And come to New York again and see if you can stand in front of the Actors Studio on 44th Street and see what happens. Because you were so close when you go to Times Square. Times Square is just a couple blocks away. This is 44th between 9th Avenue and 10th. Okay?
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And let's see if we can get one more call in. We have a few minutes, and that would be Carrie in South Dakota. Hi, Carrie. You're on with Reverend Elliot.
Hello.
Hi. We've just got a couple of minutes to go here. So what can I look at for you?
I'm wondering if you can tell me anything. I'm looking at possibly filing for bankruptcy, and if that is a good option for me or not.
Well, let me tell you, the first thing is all 3 cards here that I pulled out while you were starting to talk to me are about money. So, yeah. The 10 of Cups is the final card, which is a card of happiness and success and joy. So it's something worth pursuing. I definitely don't think that you should take the advice of the tarot cards in like a minute and a half reading. But it does look like this is a decent option, because the end result I'm seeing is success.
Okay. Thank you so much.
There's a success and emotional well-being. So that, it's the best thing I could do is the question would be, and this is the really best for tarot, is if you go for the bankruptcy route, how will that work out? And this looks like it'll work out good. But please stay consulting professionals and see what you can do. Okay.
Right.
Because, financially, these are weird times. I'm expecting gold to start losing value. That's how weird it is. So, don't take your advice from some cards, no matter how wonderful they are. That I don't think that will help you, but you're gonna come out okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye now. And that's it. We've come to the end of another session of Reverend Elliott's Magical Window, where we get to look around the space-time continuum and see what's coming. You see, I told you there's going to be a lot of stuff about money and changes and things happening that are just strange, man, because these are strange times. Like I said, when you get into inflation, it presents opportunities. All bad situations present good opportunities. But, it's difficult. You got to be prepared for them, and very few people are. Like even a stock market crash. If you're young enough and you have the cash, that's a good time to start buying certain stocks. But no, this is we're looking at more lofty things here, which is the spiritual survival. So this is why I mentioned early on, why I mentioned the book Unmasking Fear. I think that's going to be a great help to anybody who's listening, is Unmasking Fear. Because right now, there are changes coming. That alone in itself is scary. And there are people whose sole job, they get paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Their sole job is to amplify that fear, is to make you more scared. And of course, they'll sell you a solution, Or they'll do it just to keep you watching their programs. So, because, I'm so scared. What's going on? I'm not saying keep yourself uninformed, but just take it with a grain of salt, because they've been wrong before, as you know. Almost everything they told us about the wonderful little disease that's been going around, almost everything they told us, things that they threw you off social media for saying, are now considered true. So you see, just realize that the people who are holding themselves up as experts oftentimes don't know any more about this than you do. As Will Rogers said during one of his radio shows in 1935, during the depths of the Depression, I don't know any more about this than an economist does. Now, didn't the economists tell us that in December that if inflation would be gone? Remember that? That by December last year, inflation would be gone? Now it's worse than ever. But don't let it scare you. Trust me. These are things that you're going to have to learn to deal with, rather than let them terrify the hell out of you, because then you're going to not function and they're going to steal your life. It's bad enough they're hurting our money, but now don't let them take your life. Well, that's it. I'll see you again next week at the same time here on the Ask One Radio Network. And remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Bye-bye now.